the U.S. Bank Countdown to Kickoff.
From national titles to Heisman Trophy winners, from legends of the game to the legendary games, any history of college football must include Notre Dame, USC. And on this perfect October night in South Bend, these two legendary programs meet again. As always, so much on the line for both. For the Irish, trying to keep their championship hopes alive. For the Trojans, they need a big win to turn their season. Framed by the familiar surroundings of the Leprechaun and the Song Girls, Fight On, and the Victory March. For the 91st time, it's Notre Dame and Southern California. It's a slice of college football history, and we welcome you to Notre Dame football on NBC. Mike Tirico with the Hall of Famer Heisman Trophy winner Doug Flutie. Hollywood Glitz, Midwest Grit, all on the same field. Doug, Notre Dame, Michigan in 2 weeks, this game tonight, the meat of their season. What's the state of the Irish?
I think we want to see if they can bring all the elements of their game together. We've seen at times that they are as athletic as anyone in the country. They are as physical as anyone in the country. They have a defensive line that can dominate games. Can they bring it all together in one night for one game?
USC has a ton of talent as usual. They've played three quarterbacks. Go back to the freshman Keaton Slovis here tonight. They have as good a wide receiving core as anyone in the country.
No doubt about it. These guys, they got three talented guys that can take it to the house. And Notre Dame cannot double cover all of them. So find the single coverage, put it up. Even if he's covered, these guys will go up and get the ball, give them a chance.
Both coaches tell their kids what this rivalry's historic roots are all about. They are very specific. Brian Kelly told us, all respect to everyone else we play on a regular basis, this is the rivalry for Notre Dame football. He coaches in this game for the 10th time. As he and the Irish wait, here come the Irish. Opponent for Brian Kelly's team. They lost at Georgia, beat Virginia here 2 weeks ago. Northern California-born quarterback junior Ian Book says the win last year at the Coliseum, one of his sweetest against these guys. Third consecutive game against a ranked team. They beat Utah at home and lost at Washington 2 weeks ago. The Trojans from Southern California. Clay Helton, his tenure as USC head coach, started here 4 years ago when he replaced Steve Sarkisian. His quarterback, Keaton Slovis, talented true freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona, back from injury tonight. The weather is cool and perfect, and so is the setting. Number 9, Notre Dame and USC, next on NBC.
This has been the U.S. Bank Countdown to Kickoff. Presented by Bright House Financial.
The temperature is 50 here. It's a lot nicer in LA. Windy throughout the night as we go to the sideline, and Catherine Tappan.
Well, Mike, I spoke to Clay Helton just a few moments ago, and he said this is beautiful weather for college football. He doesn't anticipate any issue from his team regarding the wind or the temperature. He said the wind has even died down considerably since his kickers were out here. He said he told his freshman quarterback, Keaton Slovis, keep your composure tonight. Give what the defense gives you and trust your weapons. So I asked Brian Kelly about those talented USC wideouts, and he said the Irish are going to double up on senior wide receiver Michael Pittman. And he told his group, don't give up the big plays. That is going to be the key to beating the Trojans tonight, Mike.
All right, it's a green out. Glad you're here. Let's go. Wind blew the ball off the season. Jonathan Doors going to call Troy Pride, the cornerback, down to hold. Bayless Jones, outstanding kickoff return man, ready to bring it back for USC. Coming off a bye, rested and ready to roll. Meet of their Pac-12 season ahead. College football's cathedral is all set and has never looked finer. 91st time, 74th consecutive year. Notre Dame, Southern California. Jones will let it go. The Trojans will start. at the 25-yard line. So here's who Keaton Slovis is going to have around him. This USC offense, as we check these Jeep starting lineups, 3 good backs, 3 good wide receivers. Catherine just told you about the star, Michael Pittman Jr., game changer for this SC offense. Up front, left side is the strength. Talking some NFL scouts who are here tonight. They love Austin Jackson, that left tackle, keeping a close eye on him, as he will protect Slovis, who comes back off the concussion that happened very early. First series was the last game he played. So it's been about a month since he's played a full game. Opening drive starts from the 25. Levi Malapai with the first run. Jeremiah Usu-Carmo with the tackle. A good gain on first down. 4-7. So JT Daniels was last year's starter. Dougie tore knee ligaments. They open against Fresno State. Enters Slovis, Scottsdale, Arizona. Tutored by Kurt Warner, the Hall of Famer, was his high school coach. He plays for the first time in those 3+ weeks. Nothing open here. He takes off. Khalid Kareem brings him down, but not after. Slovis picks up a first down at the 37-yard line.
Boy, both first and second down snaps. Notre Dame is very cautious defensively, playing what we call double cloud. Corners rolled up, safeties deep, everybody's back. That's why the first play was gashed on a run play. They are playing pass, keep everything in front of them.
And that is what Washington did last time SC played. They lost to the Huskies in Seattle. Here is Slovis, clean pocket, fires, and it's caught. 1 foot down. Amon-Ra St. Brown into Notre Dame territory at the 45-yard line, a gain of 19.
St. Brown in the slot, just running the corner out. This is a beautiful throw. Nice outside release. The ball over the top. It was the only place that he had a chance to get the ball. If he threw it flat, it was going to be undercut by Elliott. Instead, perfect throw up high and over the top.
No rust for guys who played in-game action in a little bit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the brother of former Irish wide receiver Equanimous St. Brown, now with the Packers on injured reserve. First and 10, underneath throw is caught by the aforementioned St. Brown. It'll be a gain of 3, and it's Alohi Gilman, the captain, the senior safety for the Irish, on the tackle.
Look how deep the safeties are playing for Notre Dame. They are back. He's going to rotate up and come down, but they are not going to give up the big play.
So that tells you there's space to run. And it's fascinating because what does USC do best? Throw the ball. They got 3 terrific receivers, and Notre Dame's almost given them an invite to run. Fascinating to watch how patient each side is as this night emerges.
Here's a different look. Now it looks like man coverage up there, and they play the run.
On 2nd and 7, Slovis in trouble and brought down by Jeremiah Usu-Carmo with the sack and a loss of 5.
Just a freak athlete. Usu-Carmo coming off the edge. He plays nickel, he plays linebacker, he rushes the passer, he's doing everything. It's just overload blitz and bringing it.
Well, they emptied out of the backfield. The running back was out, nobody to help protect. My mistake, loss of 9, 3rd and 15. Slovis throws underneath. St. Brown with the catch. Hamilton, the safety, hit him. Gets through another tackle, but it's not going to get near the first down. Brought down the 43-yard line. Jalen Elliott finally cleans it all up. It is 4th down and about 8 for Clay Helton's team. And the punting unit will come up.
Well, if USC completes the ball over the top of this coverage that we've seen throughout the first drive, it's got to be more like a Hail Mary. Just throw it up and let somebody go jump, because you are not going to get deeper than the deepest.
You've heard a big man on campus. That's the old man on campus. Ben Griffiths, the punter. He turned 28 with the week of the Utah game. The Aussie drops the nose down as he did in Australian rules football. Can he get the good bounce? No. It's a touchback, so the Irish will take over with a net of 23 on the punt. 2 first downs for USC. Now Ian Book and the Irish offense taking the field.
Stay at them every single play. They're talented. They're hoping that you will lose focus for a play. That's what they're hoping. That's why they're talking at you. Hoping that you'll get distracted. Do not get distracted from doing your job. Is everybody clear? Sure. Laser focus, locked in to your job, one play at a time. We know how to do this. Let's do it to our standard for 4 quarters and come back in here. There is no other alternative but to come back in here and sing the fight song. Everybody clear on that? Clear. All right, let's pray.
Brian Kelly's message to his team as he coaches in this rivalry for 10 games now. One of the longer tenured Irish coaches. Notre Dame will take over after the touchback at their own 20-yard line. Ian Book, the quarterback for the Irish, who won the game at USC last year, 13-2. This Notre Dame team is in his 15 starts. They'll start with 2 tight ends and exchange them over to the left. This has been a good personnel group for Notre Dame. It's a run inside with Tony Jones Jr., who will not go very far, only a yard or 2 with that good USC defensive front. On the Jeep starting lineups for the Irish with Book. He's going to get running back Jafar Armstrong back. His collarbone injury tonight, but Jones starts. That collarbone injury, same thing Cole Kmet had. He's been back in since Georgia. Good offensive line, including Jared Patterson from Mission Viejo High School, 50 miles away from the USC campus. Book takes a sideline shot for Chase. Claypool, who brings it in just shy of midfield. They'll mark him at the 48. It's a gain of a 25 and first down for the Irish.
Chase Claypool just gets an outside release and looks for the ball. It's kind of a back shoulder. Watch him, strong hands, go up for the ball, and then after the fact, bringing it down, leaves it in the chest of a defender and walks away. But I'll tell you, he's got strong hands, goes up and catches it in his hands, and that's the key.
The 49, pressure coming. It's picked up. Book taken off. Ian Book getting to the outside, getting a first down and more to the 35-yard line. Christian Rector chased him all the way down the field, but it's a gain of 16 for the quarterback.
Defensive coordinator Clancy Pendergrass told us that they wanted to contain Book. He's more athletic than people think. He's going to take off. We got to keep him in the pocket. Right away, he breaks loose for a big run on the first series.
The Irish moving it downfield, couple of first downs at the Southern California 34. Couple of tight ends. Jones remains the back. He runs to the right, waits for the block from Tommy Kramer, gets the edge and gets 8 yards. However, a penalty flag is down on the edge. We have Pac-12 officials working the game here in South Bend today, and the replay is handled by the ACC's replay crew, so a split in that regard.
Holding, number 78, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Benjamin Kramer was pulling, he was holding.
He gets a little bit out in space, and it looked like a good block initially out there on the corner. Let's see how he grabbed it. Just as it's always when the defender starts to pull away. Houston's trying to get away. He's got a grip up on the shoulder. Once he starts to pull away, you got to release that. The grip is fine, but once he pulls away, release.
Thumbs up from our official in the booth, Terry McCauley, Chris Sims, and Liam McHugh joining Catherine Doug and I here tonight. On the inside run, it is Jones. He'll only get a couple of yards back, so it'll be second and long for Ian Book. He's from 30 minutes outside of Sacramento, El Dorado Hills, California. He grew up a UCLA fan because his older brother was a USC fan. So it was like, okay, fine. You're going to go SC? I'll go UCLA. He was not recruited by many of the schools in the Pac-12. Washington State did offer him, but he's ended up with a very good run at Notre Dame. Quick toss, Jones, quick to the edge. He got a good block from Trimble, the tight end. It's going to be third and long against this USC defense. Well, that was 25 points a game. They're strengths up front. Already called Christian Rector, who's starting Notre Dame USC for the third time. Ote's the blitzing disruptor. Houston is the unit's leading tackler. All freshmen and sophomores in the secondary. The special one is Talanoa Hufanga. Watch for 15 tonight. If you want to take your eyes off the field a little bit. Number 15 and number 1 will be Clancy Pendergast's guys to cause some havoc against this Notre Dame offense. 3rd and 13 at the SC 37. Rushing 3, leaving a spy to keep Book in. He throws, and it's incomplete. Trying to get the crossing and sliding Chris Fink at the 24-yard line. Isaac Taylor Stewart is there on the coverage, and the Irish will send out the punting unit.
Ian Book looked comfortable standing in the pocket there. He might have had a shot initially at a comeback. It was a little tight. There was a defender getting underneath it, came back through his progression, just didn't deliver an accurate ball.
It's been a big topic. If you are watching out in Los Angeles, you haven't watched a lot of Notre Dame. It's been how relaxed and how patient Ian Book is in the pocket this year for Notre Dame. could almost read Brian Kelly's lips when he came off. So relax, stay in there, make that throw. Jay Bramlett, the freshman punter, kicks it, and that too, like SC's punt, goes through the end zone. So each team's had it once. Each team got 2 first downs. Each team's got a touchback. Sports app to watch thousands of live sporting events. Stream for free with your NBCSN subscription. For details, visit NBCSports.com/live. The folks come here for the tour of the stadium. They touch the Play Like a Champion sign. Our aerial coverage tonight brought to you by Bright House Financial. And it is a bright house under the harvest moon in South Bend. Southern California takes over in its own 20. Second drive, Slovis to Stephen Carr, the speedy home run hitter out of this backfield. And a gain of 5 as Osmar Bilal and Drew White come over to make the tackle for Notre Dame.
Again, on a first down call, Notre Dame has 3 defenders playing 20 yards off the ball deep across the field. So why not run the ball on first down? The challenge is for USC to put a 15-play drive together.
And do you keep running it? They've got the backs to do it. Like I said, Carr can hit you a big one. St. Brown underneath with the blocking. First down, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Gain of 5 to the 32-yard line. Olusegun Koromoa busy already on the Irish tackle.
Koromoa makes this defense versatile. He can line up in the inside and be a true linebacker. He can cover a guy in the slot as a nickel back. He does it all.
I wondered if Slovis was going to be rusty. 4 for 4 to start. Gives to Carr. Turns the corner. Into the secondary he goes. He's dragged down from behind at the 46-yard line by Jalen Elliott. First down run of 14 for the impressive junior.
91, Okadiji is reading this and trying to slow play it and gets outflanked right away. USC should just keep running the ball until Notre Dame puts 7-8 men in the box.
We talked about their wide receivers. They're talented. They're willing blockers. St. Brown's block on the edge help gave Carr a little more room, and he does not need a lot of room, folks, to make a house call. Halfway through the opening quarter, Notre Dame 3 down linemen here. Carr's going to try the right side. Play was strung out by Jameer Jones, and Osmar Bilal will get the credit for the tackle. This Irish defense giving up 15 points a game, 13th in the country on the Jeep starting lineup. Julian Okwara on fire in this 3-game homestand for the Irish. Olusegun Koromoa has been all over the place. He's also going to be covering receivers in the slot. Very versatile. Alohi Gilman will have a big factor in this game, as will the Irish corners, who will be certainly tested tonight. Loss of 2, SC behind the chains. 2nd and 12, it's Carr out of the backfield. On the edge, shy of midfield with Drew White, the junior from Boca Raton, Florida. Science business major. Impressive young man we spoke with yesterday. Made the Notre Dame tackle and forces 3rd and 6.
Now, 3rd down is the opportunity that USC could see some man-to-man coverage. They haven't seen it on 1st and 2nd down yet, but they did see it once or twice so far on 3rd down.
Technically 5 defensive backs for the Irish, but with Olusegun Koromoa in the slot, it's like 6 DBs. Slovis fires, incomplete, and no flag as Troy Pride Jr. was there. His hands were all over Tyler Vaughn's. No flag, 4th down. Here comes the punting unit.
Well, Vaughn's is trying to get free. He's just running the outside route and trying to run a hitch. But Pride can play underneath him because he has deep help. You see Alohi Gilman getting into the play over the top. So he's going to play, it's 2-man, what we call 2 deep safeties with man-to-man underneath. So you play underneath the receiver and make him try to beat you over the top where you have help.
That should have been a penalty. Ben Griffiths to kick it away. See if he can keep the Irish inside their own 15. And the bounce takes it to the end zone in college football, to where the ball is not the man. So once it crosses the front plane of the goal line, touchback. The Irish will take over at their own 20. Later tonight on NBC. Everything green on this green out night, including the Word of Life mural, which the Hesburgh Library is better known for many of you as Touchdown Jesus. Irish take over at their own 20 in this scoreless game. Second drive, Michael Young for the first time. The receiver on the edge only gets 2. Greg Johnson, the nickel, with the tackle for SC. Doug, can't emphasize enough the youth in this secondary for SC. All freshmen and sophomores. So how will they react to the different formations that Chip Long, the Irish offensive coordinator, throws at him here tonight? Look, and a double clutch because of the jump, and the pass is incomplete. Again, it was Hufanga, who I told you earlier, causes so much disruption.
That was tipped.
Chris Sims, you got to see that ground level, how good 15 is for the Trojans.
Yes, USC got a lot of good-looking athletes out here, but that's one thing to watch out for tonight. I know you said it, number 1, number 15. If you see 15 out of that free safety position and by the line of scrimmage, people at home, he's blitzing. They love to bring him to cause some havoc.
Talanoa Hufanga, who missed the Washington game, he's had a couple of different injuries. There's pressure again. Book's got a bail on it, and retreating just fires out of bounds, but is it going to be an interception? Nope. He got it to the sideline. Isaac Taylor-Stewart couldn't get the foot down, but the pressure of USC, Doug, forces Notre Dame into a 3-and-out.
Yeah, miscommunication in the offensive line. They didn't slide out to it. There was a free offensive lineman to slide out there. They missed the blitz coming from the left side. From their left, comes through clean. Now this is a standard move Ian Book likes to do. He does that little fish hook move and spin out. But USC is definitely out of bounds there, but definitely trying to keep him in the pocket and contain and not get deeper than the quarterback.
Jay Bramlett kicks, twin receivers back for the Trojans. Bramlett kicking with the win. It's fielded at the 40-yard line by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who turned it upfield for a return of 11. And the best field position of the night for either team coming up for USC. Trojans take over at the Irish 49. No score in South Bend. A guy representing USC, but from this state, from Indianapolis, Marquise Stepp. Now the running back for SC. Drive starts right on the midfield stripe. And Keaton Slovis gives it to Stepp with a big opening. Stepp, nearly 20 yards for the redshirt freshman who once committed to Notre Dame from Cathedral High School in Indianapolis. His school's nickname, the Fighting Irish. He went to USC. He's making an impact in his first year.
75, Aaron Tucker gets the big block to push a low Gilman past the hole. Stepp has an explosion to him. He's got a quickness. He's low to the ground and physical. He always seems to be moving forward.
After a gain of 19, Stepp is out shoveled to Malapei, the other back, the starting back, and he'll gain 9 yards. So they're rolling the backs. Chris, they're taking advantage of the Irish dropping deep in the secondary.
Without a doubt, they need to open the ball on all the inside runs. Wide receivers screens. If they want to give these guys space, go ahead and play and let these USC weapons get out there and make some plays.
Slovis now looks over the sideline. They saw what the Irish were going to do with that hard count. So now the sideline adjustment to the 2nd and 1. Notre Dame bringing pressure. Slovis in trouble. Got away from one, but did not get away from Tagovailoa. Most of the ball came out and was recovered by Drake London, the freshman receiver. Let's see, they say Notre Dame ball. Umpire pointed to Notre Dame. They pointed the wrong way.
Just flat out pointed the wrong way, but that was the first time that Notre Dame actually went true man-to-man coverage with the safety in the middle. So he had some shots on the outside, maybe to take a shot. Didn't take it, tried to pull it down, and a 6-man rush gets to the quarterback.
I think that ball did come out. I don't know if Slovis was down at that point. And London, who's the 4th receiver, hustled back to make the play. Fans see on the board that it was, in fact, a fumble. Correct call was made at the 21. It is 3rd and 1 on the inside run. Second effort for the first down for Stepp. He is physical. His talent and his ability is forcing his way into this loaded backfield, and he moves the chains.
This is the guy I want carrying the ball for me. Stepp has shown the ability to break tackles, move forward, slip and slide. Reminds me a little bit of Danny Woodhead on the inside runs, but he's got powerful lower body and legs. He's only been coming into today. He'd only been on the field for 39 plays, 38 of them being run, which would indicate pass protection may be an issue for him.
Look at that. When he touches it, half the time it's a first down as good as any back in the FBS thus far this year. It's a give to step to the left. This time he is strung out. That is not his strength compared to 7 Carr, who you saw earlier. Osmar Bilal brings him down. So we have 3 minutes left in this quick-moving, non-scoring opening quarter.
Yeah, obviously that's not his game going laterally. He wants the north-south cuts. He wants the inside game. I mean, I'm sure he could bounce it out there, but stringing it out, that's not his thing.
Eric Cronin, the tight end, comes out 4 wide receivers with the one back here for USC. Haven't heard from the big play man Pittman yet tonight. Number 22, Irish show pressure. They bring 6. Slovis throws. It is incomplete. Just short of Amon-Ra. St. Brown with Jalen Elliott, the senior Irish safety, in coverage.
Well, the safety's going over top the other way, so Elliott has to jump inside. He does try to stay inside, but gets smoked on the move by St. Brown.
Doug, if these hands
Turn
get back
him over.
under the ball.
Yeah, that was a borderline one going down. Sometimes you want to put the pinkies together if the ball's down low.
3rd and 13. Notre Dame shows 5. They bring him off from the front. Slovis rolling out, getting away, flipping over the middle, incomplete. So the Irish flush him with pressure, cover on the back end, and we should have a 39-yard field goal attempt coming up for SC.
Well, on 3rd downs, Notre Dame is playing man-to-man underneath and 2 high safeties for any help over the top. You're not going to beat them up the field. You got to beat them across the field when they're in this coverage. And a quarterback run, everyone has their back turned. Quarterback runs are great in these situations with this coverage if you can get loose.
Well, 40 for 40 here. Chase McGrath, number 40, from 40 yards out. Hasn't had many opportunities in the first 5 games. Out of the Ben Griffiths hold. First points of the game, USC. So taking advantage of the 3 and out by the Irish, the good punt return, a short field, and SC on top. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Today's Military. Learn about opportunities at todaysmilitary.com. By the all-new 2020 Lincoln Aviator. And by Bright House Financial. Build for what's ahead. Hashtag ND Roll Call. Send us your pictures of your young or old or furry or friendly. And maybe we'll see your face on one of our NBC broadcasts the remainder of the way here in South Bend. 3-game homestand for the Irish. Of course, USC beat Louisville in the opener, beat New Mexico handily, lost at Georgia by 6, then beat Virginia and Bowling Green, and go to Ann Arbor to play Michigan 2 weeks from likely tonight. And of course, for Notre Dame in the national perspective, they can't afford a loss if they want to be a return participant in the college football playoff. But Georgia's loss to South Carolina hugely negatively impacting Notre Dame's hopes. We're not even at halftime. There's a bunch of balls still to play. Michael Young back deep. Alex Stathouse kicking. Young from the 10. Young slips and falls to try to put that right foot in the ground and cut it forward to the 25. There's also a penalty flag down back right about where that hole opened up. So it might be a long field again for Ian Book and the Irish.
Holding number 2 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That'll be on Jordan Genmark Heath.
There you go, the hand wrapped around the back. There's no doubt about that. I saw that from up here, actually. And there was actually a crease. If he doesn't slip, he was going to get another 10 to 15 yards at all. Would have been coming back anyway.
Brian Kelly's team, 3 drives. First one started at their own 20, sort of the second one. This one starts at their own 13. 2 tight ends, Tony Jones Jr. the fake. Hook throws to Tommy Tremble. Dropped by the sophomore from Jones Creek, Georgia. Isaiah Polomau there on coverage.
Those are the types of throws that Chip Long likes to give Ian Book early in the game. Get him on the move a little bit. Some easy completions, either your tight end in the flat or misdirection. And it hasn't worked out that way so far. It's been more drop back passing today in the early part of the game.
2 first downs in the first drive, none on the second. Good run up the middle for Tony Jones Jr. And we'll see if Notre Dame is able to run the ball on USC. USC very stout in the defensive front. Jones needs to get to the 23-yard line. It looks like it's touching it. The headline's been saying move the chains at first down. Now they're stopping for a conversation. When the drive starts at the 13, they put it right on the front of the 13-yard line. So if it gets to the 23, they know move the chains, got a first down. They say they can't determine it. From the looks of there, it's just a couple of chain links short. They'll bring out the chain gang.
This doesn't happen too often anymore.
No.
Because of what you just said, of putting the ball on lines, being able to eye it up quickly, keep the game moving.
Speaking of keeping the game moved at an incredibly fast pace. You see it just short there. Incredibly fast pace last week, the Bowling Green game. Congratulations to Bowling Green and Scott Loeffler. They got cleaned out here by Notre Dame 52-0 with Brian Kelly's team, and it could have been a lot worse. They were 4 touchdown underdogs today and won against Toledo 20-7. Congratulations to that Bowling Green staff. That is one of the big upsets in the desert of this college football season. 3rd and 1 for Book. Turn and give, it's Jones, and it's a first down for Jones out to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Doug, they get Jafar Armstrong back at some point tonight. We haven't seen him yet. They only really had him for the first series against Louisville, but that will mean a full complement of running backs for this offense.
He's a versatile back that catches the ball out of the backfield as well. Is solid in pass protection. Does a little of everything, but he has a slight groin pull as well, and you never know when those are healthy.
Armstrong has played one play. My apologies. To the side to Chris Fink. Big hit. Stayed on his feet for the moment, but Elijah Griffin was all over that. It'll be a completion, but it'll be a loss of yardage. Loss of 1.
Elijah Griffin just being instinctive, reading the receiver right away, and just puts his foot in the ground and goes. Didn't even back up at all. Not even a drop step. Now, the athleticism in the secondary is there. It's just young and inexperienced. But as far as athletes, they're talented.
No issues so far. This 2 tight end look from the Irish. Look out quick. The pass incomplete. Try to get it to the other tight end, Tremble. But again, John Houston Jr., the captain, the one senior in that back 7 for USC, forces 3rd and long.
Griffin times up the blitz, but he still gets outflanked on the naked bootleg pull to the outside, and then Houston gets the hand in there to knock down the pass. A little bit behind the receiver, Tremble. Nice reaction by Houston to get out there. It really, he was fooled initially. It was a couple steps behind closed. Showing everybody up, and USC is not afraid to bring the house. But it's 3rd down. They'll probably bail out of this, play some zone on 3rd and long.
4-man rush and a whistle, stopping it. It'll back up.
Delay a game, number 12, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
You get down in the red zone and they show that look, they're coming.
Kelly was yelling at the side judge. The official on his sideline about the play clock and running down. Brian might be looking at his list for the names of the officials. It's a common one for coaches to do. So it's 3rd and 16 now for Book. Looking for a design run. Pulls it down and throws it to Fink. A lot of room to get. He'll only get to the 31-yard line. Isaac Taylor Stewart on the tackle. And it's 5 yards short of a first down. So the Irish will punt here at the end of the quarter. The wind is southerly from right to left. Let's see if Notre Dame gets this punt off with the wind before the quarter comes to an end. And Notre Dame took a timeout. That is exactly why Notre Dame took a timeout, to get the punt off with the wind
First
here
charge
in
timeout.
this first quarter.
Notre
Chris,
Dame.
how much of a factor is the wind there on the field?
It's significant, guys. I really think that's a big reason. Slovis, the quarterback for USC, missed that wide open post down the middle. It's coming in behind Notre Dame right now. I understand it. It's going to affect the passing game as the game continues.
If the south end is where that video screen is, so as you watch tonight, it's coming from right to left. And swirl once you get down there.
Yeah, we walked the field, and I could not determine what the majority of the wind felt like was coming across the field to me. But then I got down the one end zone where they're punting from, where Notre Dame is punting from, and it actually felt there was a little wind at my back. Then I walked down the other end and felt the same way. So it kind of deadens by the goal line and was swirling. I really could not get a grip on how the wind was blowing.
3 years ago, when the Campus Crossroads project ended, they built the Duncan Student Center on the near side, the corporate family hall on the far side, and it has turned the wind pattern to a swirl. Bramlett will get rid of it, and good advantage with the wind. It's going to the left side, caught at the 21-yard line by Vaughns, and it was a worthy timeout for the Irish in terms of field position. SC is going to take over at the 29 when the second quarter begins. After one, USC 3, Notre Dame nothing. We're back at Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Bright House Financial. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Bright House Financial. The glistening Golden Dome, part of the background of the setting for the 91st renewal of college football's greatest intersectional rivalry. Notre Dame, Southern California. Trojans lead 3-0. Second quarter begins. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Chris Sims, Catherine Tappan, Terry McCauley, and Liam McHugh, all with you here in South Bend. First down run for Vavai Malapai. Alohi Gilman with the tackle. The gain is 3. Keaton Slovis, true freshman, Desert Mountain High School. Didn't start as a freshman or sophomore. His offensive coordinator there, Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, and he has tutored a very good quarterback who was able to come right in when JT Daniels got hurt in game 1 and play well for SC. Gets it to Michael Pittman, first catch for the best receiver on this Trojan team. He's got a first down to the 40-yard line. Doug, what jumps out on Slovis for you?
Just technically sound. Spins the ball, comes off his hand, watching him warm up. Everything was a tight spiral. But talking to Kurt Warner, he reads coverage. Even from his high school days, Kurt taught him to read coverage, read defenders, throw the ball in the open spaces, and he has a knack for the timing. So he's been a tutored quarterback.
Was not a 5-star recruit, was a 3-star, wasn't highly recruited. Malapai going to pop to the edge, cut back inside of Usu Koromoa, and the gain will come out just past the 43-yard line. But full credit to Clay Helton, the USC head coach. We talked to him last night at the team hotel. He said, we feel pretty good about how we assess quarterbacks. Sam Darnold wasn't a 5-star guy, but look at what he did. We're very confident, and when we saw Slovis, we really liked everything we saw, and he's come right in, and he's playing at a high level.
I love the whole story because he's a 3-star guy going in with all these highly touted guys, and it didn't faze him at all. His poise, his confidence, he took control. He's a mature young kid. He impressed the heck out of us in the meeting. Not fazed at all, very competitive about it, just went after it.
Notre Dame again, 3 down defensive linemen. That is not a normal look for the Irish. They've switched it up here tonight a bit. 2nd and 7 toss is complete. Osmar Bilal with the tackle on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yard shy of the first down, got 3rd down coming up here now.
Now, this is the type of offense right now Notre Dame is forcing USC to play. Their controlled passing game, 3-man rush, hold on to the ball, find the open windows, and stick it in there for short gains.
And a go quick 3rd down and a 1st down. Stephen Carr runs it to the 46-yard line. So Notre Dame is playing 3 down. SC goes quick, doesn't let the Irish get extra defensive front personnel in there. And a chains move 2 minutes into the second quarter.
So Notre Dame, in playing this way, is saying, hey, USC has turned the ball over a lot this year. Force them to put 15 play drives together, 12 to 15 play drives, get first down after first down, and see if they can go the length of the field.
Dame bringing pressure. It's a run for Carr, and he runs right into the arms of Drew White, who was waiting. That's going to be a loss of a yard.
Stephen Carr is elusive. He's quick. If he gets any space, he's all, I mean, even on the short yardage play, little guy in there on short yardage, just a quick step through a hole, made an unblocked guy miss. He's elusive.
Second and 11, and again 3 down for the Irish. Carr bounce out like a 2-man rush here, deflected in the air and incomplete. That's fascinating stuff, Chris, that Clark Lee is dialing up. Very different defensive looks from what we've seen thus far this year from Notre Dame.
Really brilliant what he's done to this point. You know, rush 3, let's not let the one thing that can beat us, and that is this talented wide receiver corps for USC.
2 high safeties again.
Third and 11. Irish bring 4. Slovis is pursued by Okwara and is tackled by Gilman at the 42-yard line. That'll be 6 yards shy of the first down. And USC will kick it away.
This has been the 3rd down coverage for Notre Dame. What they like to do, they're going 2 high safeties to avoid anything deep. Everything is man-to-man underneath. But what happens is when a lane opens up, if he takes off right away and doesn't hesitate, he is off and running. Everyone's back will be turned in that coverage.
And Griffiths kicking with the wind. Chris Fick back deep. Gonna hang it high, try to get it over the sideline. And he got it to bounce correctly this time. It'll be downed at the 3. 39 yards. It's all net. It's another long field for the Irish. The field is tilted in USC's favor. The scoreboard's in their favor as well. On FanDuel. These 2 schools, 14 overall, 1 Heisman's, if you include the one that was forfeited by Reggie Bush. That's the chronological order, including Matt Leinart 2004. That was the stretch 3 and 4 years. Carson Palmer in 02, Leinart in 04, and Reggie Bush in 2005. 2 of the truly legendary programs in the history of the sport. Field position's been bad, now worst of the night for the Irish, starting at their own 3. Book on the give, it'll be 2 yards for Tony Jones Jr. Jay Tufele on the tackle. Tufele and Marlon Tuipulotu, excuse me. Those 2 guys inside, both sophomores, big difference makers on that USC front. Tough to run on.
And to make 4 yards coming out of your own end zone between the guards is a pretty good run for Notre Dame against that front.
Tuipulotu is number 51. 2nd and 7. Retreating Book from his own end zone. Jones couldn't hang on. If he did, he wasn't going too far. Isaac Taylor Stewart was waiting. It's 3rd down coming up, and the Irish offense cannot find a rhythm right now.
15, Hufanga on the line of scrimmage. He's coming. If he's up there, he is coming. They were trying to get a little tricky screen to make it look like it was going inside. They went outside. Too much pressure too quickly. They missed him a couple of weeks ago in that watch. It's like a security blanket for the secondary.
The run fit that was missed led to an 89-yard touchdown. It was a backbreaker scored by the Huskies against the Trojans in Seattle. 3rd and 7, 3 to the right, 1 to the left, but going left, and it's caught at the 15-yard line by Chase Claypool. I was just about to say they haven't thrown his way, so they put him on the 1 receiver side, and he moves the chains.
Finally get an individual route against Chris Steele, and it's a little hook route. Great catch, ball out away from his body, and it's like I said with him, his hands.
Notre Dame goes quick, USC confused. Tony Jones bruising rough. Gain of a dozen. 1st down Irish before Chris Steele makes the tackle.
Notre Dame goes quickly. USC is not even lined up. They're subbing in and out, looking at the sideline when the ball is snapped.
They ran so many players off, they might have ended up with 10 on the field on that one. As I think the exchange may have been uneven. Now we're having a conversation between the referee and the umpire, and Chip Long wants to know what's going on.
Illegal substitution, 12 players on the field, defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
Well, they may have ended up with 10, but the guys weren't off the field yet. There were guys all over the place running in and out.
One thing USC does not do is sub much up front. Brandon Peely, 91, is in. But you'll see 89, 78, 99, a lot. Tuipulotu just came out, number 51, replaced by 91, Peely. On the edge, Jones puts his head down. Make a man miss, and Tony Jones in the middle of the field. Caught from behind, but Jones all the way to the 27-yard line. Isaac Taylor Stewart finally
This is how Notre Dame has gotten outside twice. 99 Jackson is breaking down hard, and it's a quick pitch out to the outside, a broken tackle, and he hits a crease.
They give him 43, mark him down at the 30. Irish jump the ball and go quick. And on first down, it is Book. Firing wide side, Braden Lindsay with the catch. He'll get 8 to the 22-yard line. The sophomore track star from Oregon on the ground. His 4th catch of the year.
The broken tackle and moving on down. And see Cole Kmet had a little fistful of jersey there during the run. Was not called.
Jameer Smith is the back. The sophomore from North Carolina for Notre Dame. Book fires, Claypool catches, sideline. Just shy of the 10-yard line. First down, ND. A drive that started at their own 3.
Those quick rhythm passes, that's where Ian Book is at his best. He did a great job of throwing it over Jackson, who was dropping underneath.
You see Notre Dame in the red zone has been as good as anyone. Tulane, LSU, and Iowa, the other teams this year coming into this week, perfect in the red zone. Going to mark it right on the 10, which means 1st and goal. And Book swings it out to Smith. Cannot hang on. Incomplete for Smith, who only has 1 reception on the year. And Jones, who needed a break after the long run, comes right back in.
The diversity of the backs that Notre Dame brings in for different reasons. Tony Jones is the one really versatile guy that can do everything well. The other backs are kind of situational.
Lindsay has remained in the game. He and Fink at the bottom of the screen. 3 receivers this side with Claypool coming that way. And Book throwing on the cross. It is Kmet in his end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. What a drop.
John Houston tries to step up and knock Kmet off his route, keeps his balance and outruns to the end zone. It initially was going to be a pick play. The pick didn't have to happen because he came clean.
And we've talked about Tawalola Funga, who is such a good safety, couldn't make the tackle on a terrific tight end. Cole Kmet, since he came back from the broken collarbone against Georgia, he has been a difference maker. His 3rd touchdown in 4 games.
Houston was trying to buy some time for Hufanga, you know, by knocking their tight end off the route.
Quite a drive. The 43-yard run by Jones. The completion to Claypool when Notre Dame had nothing going on. Jonathan Dorr from Charlotte, North Carolina. Out of the hold of the punter, Jay Bramlett. And Notre Dame takes the lead. Best drive of the year for the Irish. 9 plays, 97 yards. And their outstanding tight end from Illinois, Cole Kmet to the end zone. Lead change. Irish on top first time tonight. See, and then now Chris and Michelle from Carson, California. A ton of alums on both the Steelers and the Chargers. With both of these schools watching, sure, with interest as they get set to appear in prime time's #1 show the last 8 years, Sunday Night Football. For kickoff, going to bring that out. Velus Jones, he's got the speed, he's got the talent. Does he have the blocking? No, he doesn't. Couldn't get out to the edge. Tackled by Chase Claypool, who was starting wide receiver at the 25. What about this wide receiver, Michael Pittman?
Well, they're defending him. They're keeping an eye on him. The one thing that can kill you is this guy making a big play. So here's man coverage, but they're playing from depth, and the safety is always rolling over the top and helping out. This, he definitely has safety help because he's staying underneath Pittman. And then when he is finally one-on-one, he's bailing. And even when he's bailing off like that, there's a safety over the top, hedging to his side, deep in the middle of the field and getting to his side to help out.
He will be irrelevant if they keep him outside all game long with all these 2 safety looks that you're referring to, Doug. They got to move him to the slot. The 2 deep, man under, middle of the field is the weakness.
Watch Graham Harrell, the offensive coordinator, makes a change. He runs with the Indianapolis native. Marquise step, punishing, powerful run, still going, step, carrying half of South Bend with him. Good gracious. Out to the 45. That's 19, and that's really good.
Every time he touches the ball, it's a version of this run, and this is all of it together. I mean, it's well blocked. He breaks the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's a Loie Gilman, who's a heck of a tackler and a physical guy. 4 guys, 5 guys. His legs are driving. Gets a little help from his buddies. No quit.
Talked to him and his family last night. He is thick, he is big, and he loved coming back here tonight. He's a receiver here as they throw to the other side, and Pittman. Big collision over there near midfield. Catherine, you've got more on Marquise, the running back.
Yeah, Marquise wears number 30 in honor of his friend, a young boy named Brody Stevens, whose favorite number was 30. Brody lost his battle to cancer in 2017 at 8 years old. Step told me every time I pull off the pads and sit down and think about what got me here, I just think about Brody. I think about his smile, and it really motivates me, Mike.
There's such a connection that they made, many of the folks in the Indianapolis area, with young Brody, who tragically lost his life. Pittman hit hard right at that 45-yard line, which is close to a first down, and they will move the changes. SC responds very nicely on this drive.
You know, they're trying to find ways to get the ball to Pittman, and they're throwing those wide receiver screens. But as Chris Sims said, motion them down. They don't do a lot of that. They don't do a lot of motion, stack, things that can give a defense problem on the inside. The middle of the field is the weakness, especially in the third down coverages that Notre Dame is running. You've got to move him around a little, so it's a little more difficult to double him.
This game last year, the game at the Coliseum, they gave Clay Helton, the USC head coach, the visual of, I got to spread my receivers and get the ball in their hands, and then made the move to this air raid spread offense. Late play clock, blitz coming, Slovis going up top for Pittman. He goes up and gets it. On Troy Pride Jr. rule the catch. Pride says no. The officials talk about it. They say no catch, incomplete.
Now this is Pride, Notre Dame's best defender, bailing on what was a double move by Pittman. Wasn't fooled by the move at all. He settles his feet a little bit, but not fooled by the move. Stays with him right there, and Pittman goes up and makes the catch. If you leave him one-on-one, he will go up and get the ball.
Terry McCauley up here in the booth. No catch, good call, right, Terry?
Absolutely. He loses control as he hits the ground. Incomplete pass.
So that there, Pittman was looking for the replay on the video board. He never got it. That's what happens when you're on the road.
No, definitely an incomplete pass here. It didn't come down with it, but the way he goes up for the ball, amazing.
2nd and 10. It is Carr with the run. Got through 1 tackle, not the second, for 3 yards to the 42. So all this offensive talent, the 3 receivers, all these backs we're talking about. Graham Harrell's trying to manage all of it. You might know the name from the quarterback days at Texas Tech. Engineered that big win over Texas. Then went to the NFL. He backed up Aaron Rodgers. Has a Super Bowl ring from that time as well. Offensive coordinator at North Texas the last few years, but the time before that with Mike Leach in this air raid system. So he's learned it that way. This one's incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't catch it clean first time around.
Incomplete forward pass. 4th down.
And it brings up 4th down.
This is pressure coming from Notre Dame, and he's just getting rid of it. Now it's probably his own read type. No, it's a wide receiver screen, definitely. Just a bad ball caused by the pressure. It was definitely forward, no doubt about that. It was an incomplete pass and not a fumble.
When Notre Dame has sped up the quarterback Slovis, they have done a good job in forcing inaccurate throws from the 2nd most accurate quarterback to this point in FBS. Griffiths pinned the Irish at the 3 last time, and no, USC did not control it. They got a little cute with it. Again, it's where the ball is. So that guy standing on the goal line was okay, and he was trying to play almost volleyball. Keep it on the other side of the line, but it broke the plane there. So it's a touchback. Irish going to take over at the 20. And there is pressure on Clay Helton, who's been around coaching forever. His dad, Kim, was a head coach at Houston. Clay's been in the business, played his college ball, and he knows that the future is in some flux because there's a new boss, the new president of USC, Dr. Carol Folt, who was the president at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She has taken over. Lynn Swan has resigned as the athletic director. As the run up the middle on 1st down for Tony Jones Jr. gets a dozen and even more for the Irish. Out to the 32-yard line. And Doug, when we spoke to Clay Helton last night, He's like, hey, I've been around football a long time, so I understand the uncertainty that I'm sitting with right now.
And the changeover in offensive coordinators throughout those years, the changes at the top, he has done a tremendous job of keeping this team focused and playing good football. And I love talking to Clay Helton when we see him, and I think he's doing a heck of a job keeping the team.
From the 31, book throws. Komet, who had the touchdown earlier, has 14 there on the first down. Over at the sideline at the 45-yard line, an injured USC player is down. Isaac Taylor-Stewart, their starting corner, is injured over by the Notre Dame sideline near midfield. And the athletic training staff for USC will come over to check on him. He missed the Utah game with a concussion, was in concussion protocol. At that time, he was being blocked by Javon McKinley. Looked like his leg got caught awkwardly. Walked over and they popped up the tent to examine him. Catherine Tappan over there watching tells us that they're looking at his left lower leg. Keep updated on Taylor-Stewart, redshirt freshman. In his stead, Chris Steele, another freshman, comes in here. He started a couple of games so far. Steele, Taylor-Stewart, and Elijah Griffin. You Trojan fans know it's been a rotation of those three corners. So Steele has seen a lot of playing time. But Chris Sims, a lot of youth out there. Are you seeing any impact from what Notre Dame is doing to them in the last couple of drives?
I think that's why we've seen the up-tempo. It tests the communication of some of these young guys in the secondary, and then we've talked about their lack of depth the last few days, and I think that's what Notre Dame's trying to focus on right now.
Irish scored on their last drive, leading 7-3. If you're just joining us, SC got a 40-yard field goal in the opening quarter. This is 1st and 10, and the run with Jones will go for about 4 yards, getting close to midfield for Tony Jones Jr. Drake Jackson was over there on the stop. Wow, did that freshman pop as we watch SC's first 5 games getting ready for this one.
He comes off the edge, he's athletic, he's physical. For a true freshman, he pushes tackles back in the quarterback's lap.
Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator, said he's like Cameron Jordan, who he coached, the NFL star. Here's a little flip to Lindsey, trying to use his speed on the edge. He got around Christian Rector the end, and there goes Lindsey down the sideline. Lindsey, the Oregon track star, will break the tape and get into the end zone. Notre Dame touchdown. Whoa, he is fast.
Misdirection, you said, the Oregon track star. The little stutter step on Rector. He's probably going to outrun him anyway. Little stutter step to make sure he gets around the edge, and it was all over.
He ran the 6th fastest 200 meters in the state of Oregon, 21 3/10 seconds. And the former walk-on turned captain Chris Fink down there blocking and leading the way for Lindsey, who hits the home run. And Notre Dame's speed on the edge has flipped this game. Jonathan Doerr's extra point. And the Irish all of a sudden have scored back-to-back touchdowns.
Yeah, Chip Long talked to us about getting their eyes to lie to them. It's eye discipline in the secondary, in the front, and watching the ball too much in the backfield. That's what happened there.
Notre Dame 14, USC 3. He was committed to Oregon. He changed his mind when Willie Taggart left Eugene and took the Florida State job. Not long after, he was getting some DMs. Some folks weren't happy with his change. But he came to Notre Dame, where he was timed at a 4.440 when they were doing NFL Scout Day this past April. It's legit speed on the track, translating to the football field. Lindsey with the touchdown, and Notre Dame all of a sudden has flipped this game. Up 11, and Jones will let it go. And it is a touchback. Doug, it's so often we talk about the speed of USC, the speed of Georgia, opponents on the Notre Dame schedule. Look at the speed of Notre Dame, which has helped flip this game.
I think we talked about it a little bit in the open, about they are as athletic as anyone in the country. They have speed guys, they have physical guys on the defensive line, and Lindsey on that, that's the first time we've seen him in the open field. And I mean, that's legit speed. He put a little stutter step on the defensive end, left everyone in the desk, got a nice block from Fink downfield. But the athleticism, the Claypool at wide receiver, I mean, Komet at tight end position. Those guys, they're second to none at their positions in the country.
Stoppage here for a moment. Field judge going back to talk to Clay Helton. Play clock's going to reset. SC band, which is, as tradition holds, made the trip. The Trojan marching band will play at halftime. First down pass is high and incomplete. Right now, the band, the song girls, all the folks watching back in Southern California are frustrated because USC had control of this game, Doug. Felt like they were pinning Notre Dame back. Why is this thing flipped so suddenly?
I think the speed and tempo that Notre Dame went to got a little rhythm going on that one drive, and they got it rolling, and then Chip Long, play calling wise, has a chance to mix some things up and hits the reverse.
Again, Notre Dame 3 down linemen. Have not seen that at all this year. Good wrinkles so far. Malapai reverses field. And there's 3 down linemen. You get the runs, but you get good tackling behind it. Asmar Bilal to tackle, a gain of about 5.
You know, if Slovis missed his first down throw that gets you added down in distance and allows that zone coverage stuff, the 3-man rush, to work and get you to 3rd down. And that's a forte for him. Rhythm passing, he's very good.
3rd and 4. Look over to the sideline. Diagnosis what they see from above. On the headset to the sideline to Slovis. The adjustment of the back. 3-man rush. Nobody open. Colin Kareem. Down goes Slovis.
So even though it's man-to-man coverage, right? You got Michael Pittman one-on-one, right? Watch him slip. Troy Pride, boom, gone. But you know what? The safety's favoring that side of the field. He can't go that way. Safety deep middle, so deep he can get to that if he has to. Slovis looks right, nothing is there. He gets sacked.
Colin Kareem, they bring pressure off the edges, he and Julian Okwara, as well as any duo in the FBS. Come up on that money down, and it's a punt time for Ben Griffiths. Chris Fink just going to let it go out of bounds. We'll see where the ball gets marked. As USC will see Notre Dame take over right around the 44-yard line. PFF Inside the Numbers presented by Amazon Web Services. I was talking about the pressure that those two guys bring off the edge. Wasn't there those first 3 games, right? But after the Georgia game, especially the second half of Virginia, it's taken off. They've combined for 15.5 pressures in the last 2 games coming into tonight. And it puts those guys in the last 2 games as good as any other duo but one in the FBS. They lost Dalen Hayes to a shoulder injury, yet still these 2 guys on the edge have been difference makers and game changers on 3rd and long.
Absolutely took over the Virginia game in the second half. 3 sacks for Okwara in that game, 8 as a team, and I think the confidence level went to another level.
SC's defense needs a play here from the 44. Book taking a shot for Claypool. What a play. Chris Steele came in for Isaac Taylor Stewart at the corner. Step for step, use the proper hand not to get called for pass interference. Terrific play.
Just a post route one-on-one, and Komet ate up the safety and took him out of play. So they are one-on-one. Steele had outside technique, so it should be there. He closes and makes a great play on the ball. Little wrap on the left arm, yeah, but it was right. The timing was very good. The timing of the left hand with the right hand touching the ball. It was a fraction before he touched the ball, but let that go. Nice play.
Fans don't agree. Terry McCauley does agree. He worked 3 Super Bowls as the referee, so I'll side with both of you. 44-yard line, and Jones explodes in the secondary. Dump trucked at the 43, but a big gain on first down and second down. And full credit to this Notre Dame offensive line now.
Well, this is Patterson making the key block. Once everything flows, he gets the block to go to create a north-south lane. Very few teams are able to gash USC up the middle.
And Tony Jones Jr. over 100 yards already, buoyed by that 43-yarder a couple of drives ago. 11 carries, 110 yards. He's out for the moment. Book protected, now flushed to Michael Young on the sideline. Minimal gain of 2 in front of Elijah Griffin with 2:24 left.
Notre Dame crossed midfield there. They're to the plus 40. Shot plays. They went play action. They were hoping for something deep. Deep post wasn't there. The deep cross wasn't there. Ian Book checks it down and gets a completion. Chip Long, he's got some plays. And if he gets a rhythm going and can move the ball a little bit, I say he hands Ian Book 5 layup big plays again.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Fink coming that way. Chris Fink's going to take the handoff, and he's going to get the edge with Komet and Smith to block, but he couldn't get to them. He was knocked down by Greg Johnson. The Nichols said, enough of this. We need to flip the game a little bit. And the kid from Hawkins High School in Los Angeles made the tackle. 3rd and short coming up.
How about this hit by Johnson? I mean, Fink is a punt returner, right? Boom. And his head's up. He doesn't lower his head on this hit. It's a high hit, but his head is up, a forearm to the chest.
3rd and 1. SC crowd in the line, and that play looked a bit messed up. It was a little false start on the Irish. They were not in sync there, and that's going to take it to 3rd and 6.
Number 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Liam Eichenberg, who was penalized a couple of times, especially in that Georgia game that set Notre Dame back. Now the Irish got to think about what they're going to do here. Are they in 4-down territory? You know, analytics is a big part of football now. And Brian Kelly and his staff, like so many of the elite teams in college football, all over the analytics. So they know beforehand when they get in a drive, given score, situation, if they're going to go for it. So does Chip Long have 2 downs here or just 1? 3rd and 6, and it's a run. It's Jones. They don't need the 4th down. They got the 1st down to the 28. And Doug, when you plan for a 4-down territory, then you can run a play like that.
Exactly. That's a play call, thinking 4 downs. Watch the kick out block coming across. Little counter action. When it's 3rd and 6, if you know you're going for it on 4th, you can run the ball and get stuffed or cut it halfway and create an easy 4th down situation.
Notre Dame's going to take one of its 2 remaining timeouts here with 71 seconds. At the 28-yard line. And coming up, we'll have the State Farm halftime report. Liam McHugh is here. He'll be joined by the very busy Chris Sims and Tim Brown, Hall of Famer, Heisman winner, going to join the guys on the set, give you his thoughts on the first half. Terrific off the field look with a player who's been one of the better players on this Notre Dame team this year, Myron Tagovailoa Amosa. And the story of the game between the Hedges and Athens as Georgia lost. Rare that you play double overtime and don't score. And that's what the Dogs did. Myron Tagovailoa Amosa, who you'll see at halftime, and the Irish, they saw that score, and that will hurt Notre Dame's long-term hopes of getting back in the college football playoff. Here's Liam with no gloves.
There's
University
Chris.
of Buffalo, Syracuse. Chris Sims, not just gloves. Chris. Oh, my softness.
Oh,
wow,
I missed the
Sims.
Chris is a Texas boy.
Wow.
Well, he's New York now, but
he's born
Jersey.
in Jersey.
I know, but he played at Texas, so he's soft. What are you going to do?
Wow, it's not that cold. We'll see if Liam addresses that at halftime. 1 timeout, 71 seconds left for the Irish, trying to score in a 3rd straight drive. In his book, pulling the trigger for Young, out of bounds. Couldn't bring it in. He was over there battling with Elijah Griffin in the corner. It'll bring up 2nd down. You know, Doug, this is an important stretch, obviously, for USC with Notre Dame driving, but the Irish get the ball first to start the 2nd half. So if you score on the Notre Dame side, do it late, and USC can't get it, all of a sudden you could be looking at that back-to-back score situation here. So Brian Kelly's team has a chance to really deliver a significant blow here.
What you like to refer to as the full
Belichick.
Yes.
Score, halftime score. 2nd and 10. Book stepping up. Good maneuver to walk away from a sack. He'll get 2 yards to the 26-yard line. Notre Dame 1 timeout, 56 seconds on the turning clock. And they're going to let this one play out. See if Clay Helton uses one of his 3 to try to get the ball back.
Well, they are letting it run, so that's eyeing towards playing for field goal. Notre Dame does have a timeout.
And if you're Helton, you say, hey, okay, maybe I want to call a timeout, get some time to get the ball back for me, but you don't want to give Notre Dame some extra time in case they pick up a 1st down here. 30 seconds left, and Book collapsing pocket, in trouble, running out of field goal range, got away from the sack. Now he's just going to go forward instead of throwing it. Takes the hit on the sideline. There is no flag for the late hit out of bounds on John Houston Jr. And the loss of 2 will bring up 4th down.
I didn't like the scramble part, giving up as much ground, but I think he stayed in bounds and takes his hit in bounds. Houston hits him right on the sideline. He was coming up the sideline. But what he did do once he got to the perimeter was kept his eyes downfield. You saw him hesitate during the running part of it.
Terry,
he was looking for a touchdown.
Terry, good no call?
I think so. His foot steps on the line just before the defender hits him. No foul.
45 yards, Jonathan Dorr. Field goal turning in. He hooked it right through the middle and gets 3 points. And Jonathan Dorr comes through with his longest kick of his brief Notre Dame career and is the biggest pressure kick to this point. And the Irish have scored on 3 consecutive drives and lead 17-3. Well, Doug, one of the headlines we talked about, this Notre Dame team's only given up 3 points in the last 6 quarters. A lot of good defensive play. What about the safety, the freshman, Kyle Hamilton?
Total change of what they're doing. Kyle Hamilton playing safety down low, run fill in a position that he could rotate back and take middle field from there. But tonight, I mean, that's 27 yards deep on the snap of the ball so that he can get to the outside throws. When they're playing man-to-man coverage on the outside, he needs to be that deep to help on the throws down the boundary. All the other times, there's 2 safeties, so one on each side of the field. They don't have to be quite as deep, but they are ridiculously deep.
And the uniqueness of Hamilton, the true freshman, 6'4", from the Marist School down there near Atlanta. He's got the range and the size that if he is 27 yards back, he can almost get to either sideline and break up a pass.
Exactly, and he can. From that depth, he can get to either side. And he's eyeing the quarterback's eyes. He's going with his first read. We said earlier that Slovis is Clark Lee. I mean, this is a total change.
Yeah.
We've seen it 3 different times this year where they change things completely up to defend the team. The team reacts. A couple of times they've gone back to standard stuff, but tonight, a total change.
Vaughns can take it deep, so they try to keep it out of his hands and kick it short. Caught at the 20, it's Stephen Carr, who has great speed in his own right, trying to get to the edge, and Komet will tackle him over at the 40-yard line. Interesting. The last 2 tackles on special teams and kickoffs were by Chase Claypool and Cole Komet, your best pass catchers. So Notre Dame has been all over it with special teams. Irish by 14. 8 seconds left. 3 timeouts for SC, so they're just going to hand it off. And they were waiting for Marquis Stepp. And that's going to bring the first half to a close. USC controlled the opening quarter. Notre Dame all 17 in the second. They'll get the ball to start the third. State Farm halftime.
And hostility. Epic and edge of your seat. Rivalries are bragging rights and bringing down the house.
Notre Dame and Southern Cal.
Rivalries are what make a Fighting Irish and Trojans game so damn good. I keep on rising. USC, Notre Dame, prime time.
Man, good to have Ice-T setting the stage for the second half here under the Golden Dome in South Bend. Notre Dame 17, Southern California 3. Our first half stats are brought to you by FanDuel. Notre Dame really took over in that second quarter. Almost 2-1 in total yards. Clean game, no turnovers, more time of possession for SC. Back to what happened right before the break after the closing first half run by Marquis Stepp. Notre Dame tackles there. You see Drew White missed the pile, but then the conversation began and it got heated very, very quickly. Uche Tufele, the defensive lineman for USC, was out there causing the most trouble. Each player has been assessed a penalty, which means another unsportsmanlike conduct on anyone will get them ejected. To the sideline now, and Catherine Tappan.
Yeah, Mike, that's right. I spoke to the referees, and they told me the same thing. I spoke to both head coaches, Clay Helton coming out of the locker room, and he said he just told his team to settle down. He said explosive plays are dictating this game right now. We are playing clean football, but we're not finishing our drives. He thought Kedon Slovis is taking what the defense is giving him and not forcing things. He was happy with his quarterback's play. As for Brian Kelly, he said in that first quarter, USC was bringing a different blitz package multiple times, so he told Ian Book to settle in. He thought his team did a much better job adjusting in the second quarter. Mike?
Great stuff, Catherine. Thank you. Book 10 of 19 in that first half. If you've been watching college football all day, that's exactly what happened in the pregame in Texas, Oklahoma. The Red River, I guess they're calling it Showdown now. the bottom line of that was it just puts everybody on notice. It was so hard to assess. Well, here's the referee now talking.
Teams received their first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
Okay, so he made that announcement so everyone heard it. It was not as clearly made. Anybody who gets a second will be automatically ejected. So Michael Mothershed makes that announcement, so everybody knows the stakes at hand. And the second half set to begin. Alex Stanis taking it away for USC. Michael Young is the deep man for Notre Dame. And from the goal line, his return. Got away from a tackle, and look out! Is Young gonna? He lost the football! Oh man! He got so excited that he had a chance to take it all the way. He forgot the most important piece of mail. Seems like he jumped back on it. And it's Notre Dame ball at the 36.
Well, brand new footballs can be slick, but I saw Ian Book picking out game balls out of the bag. Now, do they use kicking balls in college football? Like they don't. So they use the regular balls that have been rubbed down, been used. So that's no excuse.
Wow,
he just slipped out. Just
he can't
slipped
believe
out.
it. Because the way that thing broke open after the first tackle, he had no one in front of him. Could have been caught by behind from an angle, but I mentioned Book's numbers, 10 of 19. Thought he settled down, as Catherine mentioned from Brian Kelly's conversation at the end of the half. The run game was really the story in the first half for Notre Dame. And there's the Tony Jones Jr. run to start it. Gain of about 5.
Well, I think Ian Book got into a rhythm. There were a couple of blitzes they weren't ready for, 3 rushes, no negative plays out of it though. And then the crucial play was a 3rd and 7 back up at his own end, which was the beginning of the touchdown drive. And they went the length of the field, up the tempo, and he started completing the rhythm passes, the quick rhythm, and got him a few first downs and out of their own end.
From the 40, it is Jones who get out to the 45-yard line, being a yard shy of the first down. 3rd and 1 coming up. Marlon to a below 2 on the tackle for USC. The Trojans 3-2. They get back into league play the rest of the way. They had control of this game through the first quarter, but then those 3 drives for Notre Dame, the difference. Book keeping on the edge, got away from Houston. He got the first down. Good job by Ian Book on the zone read to keep it, get the edge, and Notre Dame's gotten the edge on USC 3 times this game.
Zone read, they're bringing pressure off the edge, and then Houston is in place to make the move. I'll tell you, Ian Book is more athletic than people think. Little stutter stepping around the corner for a positive gain when USC had him outmanned.
Irish over 200 yards on the ground, show the pass, run it inside. Jones off the first man, not the second, got out of the Christian Rector tackle. It is no gain for the Irish. 2nd down coming up. Chris Steele felt that delivery by the bruising 224-pound Jones.
Already a little short-handed at the corner position now, as well as the young guys.
Book with time in the middle. It's caught by Chris Fink at the 35-yard line. First down in front of Isaiah Polamalu.
Great patience to sit and wait. They're going to move fast, but it's going to be an in route. He lets the coverage underneath clear, set in the pocket, stand firm, and deliver a strike.
Gain of 18. O-line's playing terrific. Book looking, now firing back towards the right side, and threw it over the head of Lindsey and out of bounds with nothing clearly there.
Again, he's had some pressure in his face. He's had some free rushers. He's had a play like that where nothing is there, and he hasn't made a mistake. 2 interceptions all year long. He's done a great job protecting the football. There's that offensive line that on that deep in route gave him great protection. He was able to hang on that ball for 3.5 seconds.
Liam Eichenberg there, the last picture you saw with Aaron Banks, Jarrett Patterson, Tommy Kramer, Robert Hainsey. They've played every significant snap of the season together. Book decisive and quick, but out of the hands of Lindsey, who had the rushing touchdown earlier. Here's a big down early in this second half for Notre Dame, for USC. Beg your pardon. 3rd and 10 at the 34.
USC, in order to get back in this game, has to make a big play, whether it's creating a turnover. This obviously is a scoring position. It could be 4-down territory, probably a 52-yard, 51, 52-yard field goal from here.
USC brings some pressure, try to force the issue. They're nosing, they're coming. Book retreats, tried to set up the screen. There was nothing there, trying to get to Jafar Armstrong, who was in, but USC with a good defensive call by Clancy Pendergast and good play by Caleb Tremblay to force 4th down.
Hunter Echols, number 31, actually grabs the back and sees it happen. As he pulls out, finds Jones, and he's right on his back. And again, Book, good decision to throw the ball away, avoid the negative play.
So you talk about the twisting of the wind. This is into the wind, and it's a 52-yard field goal attempt for Jonathan Dorr. It would be his longest. It's off the left hash. You see that wind whipping. He certainly has the leg to do it. Smooth pass out at Dorr from 52. Got it. Back to back, the two biggest pressure and longest kicks of Jonathan Dorr's tenure as the Notre Dame kicker. The junior from Charlotte, pure from 52. Notre Dame has scored on its last 4 drives. Notre Dame football is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong. By Coca-Cola. Share a Coke with the Fighting Irish this season. And by Bright House Financial. Build for what's ahead. Legendary games. The push game. Notre Dame completing the undefeated season on the way to the then BCS national title game with that stout defense. So many memories. Notre Dame USC 74th consecutive meeting. For most of you, your entire life, there's been a fall Saturday with these two great schools representing two terrific institutions meeting in college football. 91st overall playing of this one. Jonathan Dorr kicks it. Velus Jones, good hang time. He lets it go, and Notre Dame is doing well in special teams. So some faces in the crowd here today. You know, Notre Dame USC was bring some big games. Richard McKenzie, now working for the Miami Dolphins. Secretary Condoleezza Rice. Dr. Rice is on hand. Working one of her degrees from Notre Dame. Of course, Joe Theismann, Irish legend, looks great at age 70. And Notre Dame quarterback from a more recent time, Deshaun Kaiser, coming to check out a rivalry that he was a part of. Notre Dame USC fills the sidelines and brings some of the beautiful people.
And Joe Theismann is 70 years old, can still outdrive the golf. Outdrive me with the golf.
All right, USC's offense got to get going. Down 17. Keaton Slovis climbs the pocket. Complete over the middle. Big hit from Kyle Hamilton, the safety on Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's first down as St. Brown hangs on to the 38.
If you're going to play soft zone coverage and play high safeties, there's going to be a window somewhere between. Great job of sliding and moving. And then Kyle Hamilton full speed with the collision.
Full speed and legal. It is Malapei running to the left to the 45-yard line. So good first down game for Vavai there, a gain of 7.
Chris Sims and I were talking a little bit earlier that in these two high coverages in this soft zone, the middle of the field is the area to attack.
And Notre Dame showing 3 down linemen. And Malapei gets to the edge, spins in front of the corner, Troy Pry Jr. And it's a first down for USC, again in Notre Dame territory.
Okay, back-to-back runs, first down, second down calls. Can USC complete a drive? Continue to move the chains, put 10 to 12 plays together.
From the 49, the freshman Slovis scans the field, finds his tight end, Eric Romanhoek. It's just his 5th catch. They don't use the tight end much in this offense. Maybe if they see a lot of zone, they'll go to more of that.
And it doesn't have to be the tight end in the middle. It can be the tight end, but great job by Slovis moving to the pocket, holding the ball, and allowing his guys to work. There are going to be windows, and a good 7-yard gain on first down. Take it.
Defensive wrinkle here from the Irish as Gilman takes the receiver on the edge. It's the run inside with Malapei. Yard shy of the first down. Khalid Kareem, a sack earlier on the tackle there.
I would just play to try to get the first down in short work.
And USC goes quick to try to do that. They do. Malapei breaks free through that first line. Hamilton, the safety, tackles him at the 29-yard line. First down SC.
Well, the left side of the line for USC is their strong point. That's Jackson and Vera Tucker on the left side pushing the pile. And they're getting a rhythm going here. USC's getting a feel for what Notre Dame is doing defensively. Run the ball first and second down and throw the short passing game over the middle of the field first and second down.
So just flipped over. USC scored the first 3. Notre Dame the next 20. Irish has scored in the last 4 drives. First Trojan drive of the second half. The freshman from Arizona, Slovis. Good job to throw on the run and find Cromanhoek, the tight end. 4 catches in the first 5 games. 2 catches the last 4 plays.
Okay, he's going to release to the flat. Now Vaughn is outside. Actually, that's Owusu Karamaro breaks up towards the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to move, Slovis pump fakes. It's just playing basketball. Draw a defender, dump it over his head. Great job by Slovis.
Looking opening drive at the 14. Owusu Karamaro came over, but they couldn't draw on the motion. Austin Jackson, the left tackle, didn't move to draw the free play. Here comes pressure from the Irish. Slovis end zone shot. Vaughns goes up. We cannot bring it in. Troy Pride Jr. on the coverage.
Finally gets an opportunity for a one-on-one throw on the outside with no help. Vaughns, as he jumps up, okay, takes an outside release. There's no help. Pride's on a one-on-one. Gets a little push off with the left hand while he's being grabbed and tries to make a one-handed catch.
Very easily could be called. It's wide out in the open there. Clear handful of jersey.
That's called a stiff arm.
Pac-12 officials let it go. It's Pac-12 on-field ACC replay. Those of you not familiar, ACC officials usually work Notre Dame home games. 2 and 10. Inside run with Carr. He'll get to the 9-yard line. 3rd and 5 coming up for USC. It feels like USC's got to get a touchdown down here. I know a field goal is only a 14-point game, but red zone inefficiency has been an issue for this team this year. They've turned it over 4 times in the red zone in 5 games.
The windows get a lot tighter down here unless you get man covered.
Deepest into Irish territory they've been all night. Oh, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona, Duke. Slovis looking, nothing there. Trying to find something. Slovis now throws, incomplete. Jameer Jones, the defensive end, dropping, but a flag comes down at the back end of the play. It'll be on USC. Owned by the umpire right where the snap happened at the 10.
Great job by Slovis moving.
Number 70 offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
In zone coverage, the windows were tight, as we say. People were not getting open. He held on the ball as long as he could. There's a takedown. I mean, he actually saved a big hit on his quarterback by pulling him down.
Jalen McKenzie with a throw down, so Chase McGrath will come on. Good earlier tonight from 40 yards. This one will be 27. Ben Griffiths, the punter, is the holder. Oh, almost blocked. Slow operation, but the field goal is through. And USC has its 2nd field goal of the night. Each team has scored on the opening possession of the second half. The Irish lead is 14. The Flyers against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid had a goal and an assist against the Rangers. So terrific doubleheader. And of course, the great Catherine Tappan will be in the studio for us as hockey season hits week 2.
Catherine the Great.
Catherine the Great. Michael Young back deep to receive last time. Broke a tackle. Had nothing but green grass in front of him and lost the most important part of the deal, the ball. Young's going to signal the fair catch here, so touch back, and the Irish will take over the 25. Those of you who may have been watching Florida LSU, get you caught up here. Our Pulse brought to you by Bright House Financial. 3rd straight game. Tony Jones Jr. over 100 with 129 already on 15 carries. Cole Kmet got a touchdown to put the Irish up in the 2nd quarter. 3 touchdown receptions the last 4 games. And Braden Lenzy, 200-meter star sprinter from Oregon with the touchdown run of 51 yards. The end of the first half, it looked like the start of Texas-Oklahoma. During warm-ups, every player on both teams has been assessed on unsportsmanlike conduct. Anyone gets a second, they're automatically ejected. USC the first 3, Notre Dame the next 20. USC just off a field goal, and it's Jones Jr. back on the ground and a gain of about 5 yards. In the big picture again on this game, Doug, here's Notre Dame The loss at Georgia by 6. Georgia lost today. That'll hurt Notre Dame's hopes to try to get into the playoff as a one-loss team. But Brian Kelly said it out very clear. All that other stuff will handle it. This is the rivalry game for Notre Dame with respect to Navy, other teams they play often, Stanford. This is the game that Notre Dame alums years later talk about. Jones stopped in the backfield by Drake Jackson, or Jafar Armstrong, I should say, getting his carry as he comes back from injury.
Well, for me as a kid, this was the game I loved watching every year. The memories I had of Anthony Davis returning kickoff in the second half in the USC comeback. That's where it started for me as a kid. And the pageantry, the colors, the bands, the fight songs. I mean, there's nothing like this matchup. This is college football.
1 October here, the next November out at the Coliseum. Irish have won the last 3 meetings, 3rd and 9. Book stepping up, finding space, will throw on the run, complete to Chris Fink for the first down shy of the 45-yard line. It will be a gain of 19 to Fink.
Jameer Smith, 34 in the backfield, puts up a nice block. Great job by Ian Book. Watch him keep his eyes upfield. He could have run for 5 yards, but he wasn't sure if he could get the first down. Stay behind the line of scrimmage, deliver a strike.
And Fink delivers, or rather, Book delivers to Claypool, waiting to see if it's a catch. No, it's out of bounds. So the one official going above his head. It's out of bounds and incomplete, intended for Chase Claypool.
Second down.
Ball's thrown low and behind. It's kicking around a little bit. Still lost sight of the ball. Whether he gains control before sliding out of bounds, I don't know.
The ruling on the field is that the receiver caught the
I did
ball
not see
out
the
of
ball hit
bounds.
the ground.
The previous play is under further review.
You couldn't see it there with the 2 bodies on top of the ball. Very hard to differentiate. Terry McCall, let's see what you see here.
So he's going to have to get control of the ball with his hands before he hits out of bounds. The legs don't count. He's there. I don't see complete control before he's out of bounds. So this appears to be an incomplete pass.
So if you have control between your knees and your inbounds, that doesn't count.
That does not count.
Really?
Correct. That's got to be with
I had a touchdown pass against Alabama that was caught between his knees. Maybe the rules have changed.
Well,
that was 30 years ago.
At some point, he's got to get the ball in his hands.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
Before he gets out of bounds.
It didn't. The amazing thing is that it didn't touch the ground in the early part of that play.
After review, the ruling of an incomplete pass is confirmed. Second down.
And again, Terry, it's odd that we have the split conferences, and really the last year we're going to have where it's one conference on the field, the other conference in the replay booth.
It is, Mike. In 2020, the entire crew, replay and on field, has to come from the same conference.
This is unique. It goes back to the old days of intersectional games where you try to split the crews. So this way, nobody was trying to do any funny business on you. You felt comfortable if you had one official somewhere who you knew. Cole Kmet on the edge, handed by the face mask from John Houston. He didn't grab and turn it, so no flag, shy of a first down there, a gain of about 9.
Well, this looks like a true RPO. And then gets it out in the flat, and Kmet, being the athlete he is, gaining ground. That looks like a face mask to me, a little piece of it. Not blatant. Terry's waving his hands. I don't know. Hand on the face mask, but not necessarily a grab on the face mask.
Grab and turn usually is show and tell for officials in that situation. And in slow motion, it looks a little more like it. The fans here didn't agree as they saw that replay on the big board. Now it's 3rd and 1. And this is a place where Notre Dame has struggled offensively early in the season. But this offensive line has been very solid with 200+ rushing yards so far. Then a lot of exchanging the 2 tight ends to one side and just slam it up in the middle for Jones, who will get the first down to the 43-yard line. Chris Sims, you speak so often about this Notre Dame offensive line. This is one of the better performances from them thus far.
One of the better performances we've seen from the whole offense altogether. Yes, I mean, this is no slouch up front for USC. They are moving them around and getting up to the second level and getting bodies on these good linebackers, and one of them's down right now. I think it's Nyote. That's down, Mike.
That's right, Palaie. Ote. And you had mentioned earlier, and even Chip Long, the Notre Dame offensive coordinator, told us he's what an SC linebacker has looked like in the past and should look like. And Chip Long was very concerned about Ote and Ufanga, the linebacker and the safety. Young players, extremely talented. And there was Palier putting his head in there on that short yardage play.
He had a good run too. He was playing from a little bit of depth and had a clear window to the back. So he had about a 5-yard head start.
Run by Tony Jones Jr. Grabbed that left leg at the back end of that after the gain of 3 for first down. Kanai Malga, I should say, comes in his stead. Number 26 for USC. 1st and 10 for Ian Book and the Irish. Here's Jones running to the edge. And he will get 2 yards, the 41-yard line.
Fortunate to be running the ball to the right away from the corner blitz. Came off the weak side. So Pendergrass is going to probably turn up the heat a little bit, especially as you get into the red zone. He likes to get aggressive. Look for the linebackers to come up on the edge and come. There's Hufanga from the edge on this one.
Fake is the motion man. Book fakes it to him, takes off. Couldn't get out of the arm tackle of Brandon Peely. Just a gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd down coming up. We'll talk about the pressure from Clancy Pendergast. Chris, you know this guy very well. You went up against a Clancy Pendergast coordinated defense.
I did back in 2004. Emmitt Smith's last game with Arizona Cardinals, and getting some of the blitzes and pressures that he does now. Of course, he was doing them back then, so it was a familiar thing I saw. I don't have good memories from that game, guys.
16 years in the NFL, a bunch with Arizona, including a Super Bowl. Here's Jones running, and that Pendergast defense comes up with a stop on 3 consecutive run plays here. Caleb Tremblay, the tackle. So again, you talk about analytics. 3rd of the game left inside of 5 minutes, 3rd quarter. At the other guy's 38. 4th down at about 5, up 14. And Notre Dame's going to line up to go for it. And again, there was no questioning what they were going to do. They had a distinct plan, so nobody's looking at the play clock and making a decision. They knew they were going to go. They go, and Book underneath is incomplete. Trying to get on the same page with Tommy Tremble. The tight end stopped. Greg Johnson, the nickel in coverage. And after the score of a field goal, USC gets a hold as they try to build some momentum in this one. Down 14 as they stop the Irish on 4th and 5.
Keaton Slovis, he's been very vocal on the USC bench. After they kicked that field goal, he went over to the bench, screamed at his guys. He said, "Let's go finish. We're right there." Encouraging his teammates, slapping them high five. Strong leadership from this freshman quarterback over here, guys.
Well, Tap, that makes sense with everything we've heard about him. No moment too big for him thus far. It's another redshirt freshman, Marquise Stepp, with the carry, punishing runner and doing it again there with a gain of 7. Interesting there, Doug, as Stepp came on the field. Notre Dame brought Jason Ademilola out to put a 4th defensive lineman as they're now adjusting to 30 being on the field.
Well, the numbers say they will be running the ball when he is in the game. Stepp.
Here he comes again, this time to his left, and he'll get a 1st down into Notre Dame territory. So, Chris, this is a couple of drives now where USC is regaining some offensive momentum.
They are. They got it going, and especially between the 20s, but they got to stay patient with this inside run game with all the 3 down front. And then Doug mentioned the throws over the middle. It is the weakness of this 2-deep zone defense that Notre Dame's running.
From the Irish 49, Slovis got time. He'll come back to his tight end. So Cromanhoek, 4 catches in 5 games, 3 receptions in this 3rd quarter. 3 receivers, Doug, have been quiet.
Well, they don't move them around. They're all on the outside running the upfield routes, so you can roll the coverage. You put a guy over the top, and you're taking away the big plays. The only time you're catching the ball is on the wide receiver screens. Bring them in, motion them, get them over the middle of the field, and work that little 5 to 8 yard area.
Notre Dame taking away the best thing SC does. It's Vaughn's now. There he finally is on the board, as we showed you he didn't have one, inside the 39-yard line, down to the 38. First down, SC on the move with 3 minutes left in the third.
These last two plays don't look real impressive. I mean, the first one was kind of a check down to the tight end, stumbling and moving. That's a first down. Just keep moving the chain. Positive yards, positive plays. Don't get over anxious and start heading to the end zone. Continue what you're doing. Run the ball, short passing game over the middle.
6 is their home run hitter, Michael Pittman Jr. Explosive receiver. Slovis taking a shot downfield, and it's brought in by St. Brown for the touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown split the safeties, juggled and caught it. And just like his brother Equinemius, St. Brown scores in the SC Notre Dame game.
Here's the pass protection. He's got plenty of time. Play action fake, holds. Gilman, the safety, steps up. Gilman, the safety in the middle field, steps up, and he's late running to cover St. Brown down the middle. Great one-handed catch to hold the ball. The play action pass froze him, and the two deep coverage down the middle of the field. Chris Sims was telling me in the first half, we've been talking about somewhere in the middle of the field is where you have to attack this defense.
Quick hits, 5 plays, 62 yards. Took just over 2 minutes. Extra point is added by Chase McGrath. And USC is within 7.
So Gilman's job is to get to the middle field and take whoever is the middle read guy. It's coming from the left side. So off the play action, he freezes a step. That cost him because he can't get there in time. Now, beautiful throw over the top, a one-handed catch bringing it in. And USC is back in the game.
And Chris, that throw speaks to what Catherine was talking about. Here's a kid, Slovis, hasn't played in 3 weeks, and when he went out early with the concussion, leading the guys on the sideline and then leading them with his play on the field.
Yeah, I like the aggressive mindset Slovis is showing there. Guys, they need it. They need something to create some big plays, and it was a good play call by Graham Harrell. You're exactly right, too, Doug. The little play-action fake's going to make that middle-of-the-field defender step up for just a half a second. The formula doesn't need to be complicated for USC. You see 3 down, run the ball. If you see some 4 down, then maybe you call the pass when everybody's looking at the line of scrimmage and looking over at the sideline and figuring out the play.
The St. Brown family's been all over USC Notre Dame the last few years. 3 brothers playing college football. Amon-Ra in the end zone. It'll be Notre Dame ball at the 25. Catherine, after Amon-Ra St. Brown caught that touchdown.
Yeah, and you talk about the pedigree of the St. Brown family. Equinemius played for the Irish, is now with the Packers. Osiris, a junior receiver at Stanford. And Amon-Ra told me that his German mom was tough on them academically. The 3 are fluent in French, German, and English. His dad, a 2-time Mr. Universe, he helped train them. The 3 brothers admire each other's games and they take pieces from one another. But when I asked Amon-Ra who the best receiver in the family is, he said, well, that's an easy question, me.
Of course, he's a receiver. You got to say that, right? You got to come with that attitude. You see, he had a big game in the Coliseum against the Irish. And I mentioned his brother, Equinemius, who played for Notre Dame, blocked a punt 1 year, and then the following 2 years scored touchdowns as a receiver. Offsides on the kickoff, so add 5 to the fair catch. Irish start at the 30. It's back to Jameer Smith on the ground, and he'll only gain a couple of yards. And this USC defensive front has kind of slowed down the Irish run game here in the third quarter.
Well, now there's hope. Now all of a sudden there's a hop in your step, and there's you're cutting it to a 1-score game. There's still plenty of time left. Now you want to come up with the stop and get it back to your offense, and they're getting more aggressive defensively.
Ian Book just 13 of 27 passing thus far tonight. We'll give it to Smith, who will run to the edge on the left. And Notre Dame has really handled what has been a problem for USC, edge running throughout. Looks like Greg Johnson, the nickel, was injured on that play for USC. So the Trojans already down Isaac Taylor-Stewart, a starting corner. And Palaie Noteote. See Johnson, the nickel, 3rd starter, injured for a USC team that has absorbed a lot of injuries here in the first 5.5 ball games.
Noteote is back on the field. He was the one that made the stop on the first run play of the drive. He had his leg trapped underneath and bent backwards, but back on the field.
So 3rd and 1, and Book will keep it for the Irish. They'll get the first down out to the 41-yard line with a minute and a half once this clock restarts left here in the 3rd quarter.
The misdirection is key for Notre Dame to keep the USC defense honest. They chase. Their secondary and linebacker lever are chasing in a hurry, so the reverses and the misdirection.
First down. The Irish have been slow on first down in this second half. Not on this one. Tony Jones Jr., who has been very impressive running the last 3 games, takes it over 150 yards, or close to 150, 147 with that gain on first down.
Tommy Kramer out front of him. A nice cut block to open that up. 78 comes pulling out to the right. Watch him take his man to the ground. It was Houston.
Book pulls it, keeps it, chase down. And that tremendous athletic ability of Drake Johnson showing there. His dad a coach, 4-star high school recruit, an early enrollee at USC, an early impact player as well.
We've seen him rush the passer. We've seen him make tackles on run plays. We've seen him dropping coverage. He's an athlete at the defensive end position, and he's physical for a true freshman.
It's been 3 times watching the USC game. Is getting ready for this one. But is 99 really a freshman? Is that a type? Did I mistakenly type freshman? No, he is, and he's good. And here he comes. Another pressure up the middle. Book fires incomplete. Had to get rid of it because the pressure was coming, and it's going to cost a flag. Ote's going to be caught for the hit on the quarterback. And Clay Helton's furious.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 1. 15-yard penalty. That's an automatic first down.
I'm a quarterback, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I mean, he takes him to the ground, but he doesn't throw his full body weight on him and drive him to the ground. And the ball's just gone. And Ian Book actually threw it really early to get rid of it because he knew the hit was coming.
Terry McCauley's the expert up here. Terry?
Yeah, Mike, I don't see this as very late hit, nor does he drive him or punish him into the ground like it's required in college football. I don't believe this was a foul.
And Notre Dame will take advantage of the break they got. Jones gets a first down and almost had a touchdown, a gain of 10 before Hufanga stops him.
That penalty is like a turnover. I mean, that's a stopping of possession.
And that's why Clay Helton is so furious with the Pac-12 officials here. Irish try to take advantage of the opportunity, take a 2-score lead after 3. Notre Dame 20, USC 13. Back to Notre Dame Stadium after these messages from your local NBC station. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC, presented by Bright House. USC scored the first 3, the Irish all 17 in the second. USC getting the 2 scores in the third to make this a 1-score game as we begin the 4th quarter. Mike Tirico, Doug Flutie, Chris Sims, Catherine Tappan, Liam McHugh, and Terry McCauley, all with you here in South Bend. Irish got a penalty on 3rd down that Clay Helton spent the entire quarter break complaining about. Komet got a blocker, got 7 to the 23-yard line. Cole Komet. Let's go back one more time to that hit that had the USC coach furious when it happened and then through the break.
I mean, Ian Book gets rid of the ball because he knows he's going to get hit, so it's not a late hit. And 80 to 90% of his body is off to the side as he takes him to the ground with an arm. I don't see that as a penalty.
Exactly, Doug. He does make a good effort to get to the side and doesn't drive him into the ground. This really is not a foul.
2nd and 3, and Book throws it to Michael Young, too high and incomplete. As he tried to get it to young Chris Steele, was over there on coverage. As you saw the stat go by, how heavily penalized USC has been. That has been one of the problems of this team. Turnovers and penalties. And Clay Helton said we have to play a clean game to have a chance. Well, only 2 penalties on his team. The offside on the kickoff at the start of this drive, and that one, which has kept Notre Dame in business here as they face 3rd down.
And part of a clean game is no turnovers, which has been an issue for them.
Turnover-free game to this point. Irish in field goal range to take a 10-point lead if they make it. They want to keep the drive alive. 3rd and 3. SC showing heat. They go to Chris Fink. It was quickly ready. Got away from Houston, but the posse's coming to sling him out of bounds. over at the 25-yard line. Isaiah Polomau came across, threw him down with anger, but legally, and a field goal's coming.
Couldn't outplay. I'll tell you, the play that could have been a touchdown was the pass to Komet that was set up early. It was very well set up. A great tackle by just a shoelace tackle. And then USC defense stepped up.
This guy has stepped up so far, Jonathan Dorr. Only 3 of 4 in field goal attempts. Very few attempts before tonight, but 2 big ones. This one from 43 yards. Operation True. And Dorr bangs another one through. Best night Jonathan Dorr's had. Really has developed a routine, has stuck with it. And that penalty that Helton wanted, didn't get. Keeps an Irish drive alive. And the Dorr field goal makes it a 10-point Notre Dame lead. Unlock your possible by Microsoft Surface. By Lexus, experience amazing. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800 State Farm. Into the third quarter tradition here. 18-12 overture. Arms all moving in unison. Went out social media. Put your cell phone flashlight on when you do it. And I think a pretty darn cool tradition for night games under the Golden Dome has just begun. That was awesome to watch.
That was pretty cool. That's a lot of lighters out there. That's in my day. That was lighters at the concert. That's pretty cool looking.
Absolutely. 10-point Irish lead. Jonathan Dorr's had his best game as a Notre Dame kicker, and he get a touchback here. Drive will start at the 25. Last drive, Amon-Ra St. Brown with a touchdown catch. Part of a big night.
Really nice night. He beats on a corner. The one time he gets man coverage, he beats him on a corner route. Beautiful throw by Slovis. But the key is the middle of the field against this Notre Dame defense and the way they've been playing. Work the zone, slide and move. And eventually you get a play action pass and have the big play. First big play of the night down the field. When he's had the opportunity, he's made the play.
17 catches, 186 yards in the last 2 Notre Dame USC games. The St. Brown family name will be a part of this greatest intersectional rivalry of college football. Meantime, Michael Pittman Jr., their star receiver, has been held in check. Just 3 receptions, 18 yards. His longest catch of the night, 8 yards. Keaton Slovis scores in this first 2 drives of the second half. The time Levi Malapei couldn't hang on to the pass is incomplete.
You know Michael Pittman's going to make a play before his day's over. Something's going to happen where he gets in the open field, and it's a matter of whether he gets tackled or not.
The point was made a couple of weeks ago when he was in the same boat against Washington. He's not one of those boisterous receivers, starts throwing stuff, he gets frustrated on the sideline. Similar to that tonight. He's a really great kid, but they've got to get him going. This is the home run hitting back Stephen Carr. His acceleration is blunted by Jalen Elliott's hit. The safety stops him a yard shy. Here comes a 3rd and 1, a minute and a half into the 4th.
Boy, that was close to breaking. Carr saw the cutback, made it. Elliott grabbed the leg and held on.
Remember, Notre Dame doesn't have Sean Crawford, who they hope to be back in the Michigan game. He's their outstanding senior corner. In his stead, we've seen some of Dante Vaughn tonight. So Vaughn's one of the 6 DBs on the field here, even though it's 3rd and 1. They spread him, they're running with the big fella. Marquis step from Indianapolis into Notre Dame territory. Hamilton tagged him for a moment to slow him down until he got to the 41-yard line. Man, every time this guy gets the ball, the chains move. 24 on that one.
Cromanhoek, 84 to tight end, washes everything down. He cuts it off the backside of that. You're not just going to hit him with a shoulder and knock him to the ground. Step just has the low center of gravity, strong legs, tuck that ball away.
8 carries, 77 yards for the Cathedral High School product from down in Indianapolis. Again, 3 down linemen for Notre Dame. Let's see with Step in there if they'll just take that as an invitation to run.
Absolutely.
Step for about 2 yards. Drew White in on the tackle with Myron Tagovailoa Amosa. Fascinating to watch the chess game tonight.
You know, you see the 3 down, you see the deep coverage. You try to keep from from a Notre Dame perspective, keep away from the big play, but just keep pounding the ball. When you see that 3 to 5 yards a run, at least stay with it.
Clay Helton saw something he didn't like. He ran down to the referee, official. Nothing going on with the timeout. Pressure here on Slovis, who will just throw it away. Notre Dame says he's inside the tackle box. Is there a receiver over there close enough for grounding? No conversation, just third down coming up.
Well, there was a little change up for Notre Dame. They ran the blitz out of the 3-down look, trying to encourage the run play, and then all of a sudden everybody's up in the box and coming. Middle dog cross, we used to call that, the backers crisscrossing. But it's just a good run stopping blitz, put pressure on him.
There's a guy in the neighborhood, so they were clean with intentional grounding. 3rd and 7, down 10, 3 minutes into the 4th. You wonder if it's 4-down territory. Stephen Carr, the running back, wasn't pumping up the crowd. He wanted a signal from the sideline.
1-on-1 on the outside.
And they go that way. And Vaughns goes up and catches it at the 21-yard line. Tyler Vaughns using his strength to go up and get a 17-yard completion.
So you're going to bring pressure, you're 1-on-1. You put your best DB against the second receiver, what is considered the second receiver, and Vaughn sees the ball thrown. As long as the receiver sees this ball thrown, he can react to it in the air. They go up and high point the ball so well, these receivers.
4 receivers now for USC on the fringe of the red zone. In a 10-point game, it is Stephen Carr with the run. He'll twist forward for about 4 or 5 yards. That point, Chris, that Doug just made, that goes back to Bill Belichick mindset. Take your best corner and put him on your second best receiver. So Elijah Griffith, the corner for USC, is walked up the tunnel by the athletic trainer. Second and 6. Irish bring pressure. Slovis underneath. Complete. Pittman catch and run to the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, USC.
Well, Pittman finally got 1-on-1 coverage on a route that the safety can't do anything about it, and gets the completion.
Jump the ball quick. This is where USC has struggled. Got to find a red zone touchdown. Slovis up top. Vaughns with a catch and a USC touchdown. Tyler Vaughns tightens this up to a 3-point game.
Well, we say Pittman's the #1 receiver, but Vaughns is the most athletic as far as going up and getting the ball. He just beats him on the release, beats Pride on the release, and gets to the outside. Find your 1-on-1 coverage and give these receivers a chance to make a play on the ball.
I was talking to one of the USC coaches before the game, and he said, when you talk to our corners, Pittman's so talented, St. Brown's good in the slot, but the guy our USC corners hate going against in practice is 21. He's got that gifted skill set, can do it all. Big extra point is added by Chase McGrath. Got a ball game in South Bend, USC. 3 drives in the second half, 3 scores, a field goal, and 2 touchdowns. The latest, Ethan Slovis to Tyler Vaughns. USC within 3. Chance to tie the record for the longest win streak in Premier League history. Can they do it against their arch rivals Manchester United? It's at historic Old Trafford as well. What a matchup next Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern on NBCSN. No Premier League this weekend, but wow, what a slate next week. Heaton Slovis, the freshman, down, struggling, but has come back 3 scoring drives in a row. And now it is a 3-point game.
This could be a defining drive for Notre Dame. All the momentum's gone for USC now. They got a rhythm on offense.
Stathouse kick will go all the way to the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Notre Dame takes over at the 25. Let's go back to that Slovis touchdown drive.
It starts with running the football versus the 3-man front and starting to gash. Although there was pressure on this one, Steps cuts through and positive gain. They started to run the ball. USC's so now Notre Dame's playing more man coverage and find your 1-on-1 matchup and put it up. These receivers are so athletic. It's Vaughns that's getting the 1-on-1 matchups for the most part. Finally, Pittman got into the act on a slant route, but it's Vaughns doing the damage because he has no safety help on his side of the field. and he's so athletic he can go up and get the ball.
If they stay patient with that run game, they can put Notre Dame's defense in a real bind where they're going to have to think about putting that extra guy in the box to stop the run, and then these guys outside are long and they can adjust to the ball in those 50-50 situations.
Field goal drive last time out. Tony Jones Jr., star for the Irish on the ground so far. He'll gain 3 yards out to the 28-yard line. His total will go to 161 here on this night. Clay Helton, this USC team, no matter what happens here, they will be very much in the picture in the Pac-12 South. But a win here would have so many implications to come on the road and beat the number 9 team. Book dropped it, picked it up, ad-libbing, and get out of bounds. Not lose a yard, maybe gain 1, but a big third down coming up as we dive under 10 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
This is a crucial third down for Ian Book and Notre Dame's offense. With the rhythm that USC has on offense, you do not want to give the ball back to them. It's been a little stagnant of late.
And you can feel the momentum change.
Absolutely.
Totally count. From the 33, Book, 5 options to throw. He picks his tight end, and Komet has a first down. The USC sideline wanted offensive pass interference, but the chains move. First down, Notre Dame.
He has a chance to stand in there because Komet is running a wheel route stop on the outside. Takes a couple seconds for it to happen. With that combination route, it looks like he's going to run the wheel and go up the sideline. He puts the brakes on, little push off, nothing bad.
Yeah. It's nothing. From the 37, Jones left. Looking for blockers, delivering the blow. A gain of 9 on first down for Tony Jones Jr.
2 solid first down runs to start this drive for Notre Dame.
There's a flag down back in the secondary. Usually the guy who counts the number of players on the field.
They're not playing Canadian football out there, are they?
No, it's cold. It's not that cold. Brian Kelly's going to decline and take 2nd and 1. Kalana McCowlow made the tackle for USC. Haven't seen him very often this season for the Trojans. There's 12 as they were trying to exchange personnel again. 2nd and 1. Jones inside. It's going to be close. Drake Jackson the tackle. The spot looks to be enough to move him, and the chains will go as we go under 9 minutes.
Jackson was the unblocked guy on the end of the line, and he just closed it down and chased it. That's the type where if Ian Book reads that, even though it's short yardage, you can pull that ball and take off, and he's an athlete that can get a big chunk play out of it.
Jackson went to the sideline for USC with a limp. Caleb Tremblay comes in his stead as Jones gets a breather. And Jameer Smith will be the Irish back. We've seen limited production from Jafar Armstrong in his return from injury. And here is Smith. Good job by Smith to find the hole. Explodes into secondary. Get to the 40-yard line. A 13-yard first down pickup for the sophomore from Sanford, North Carolina.
Boy, Kramer makes a great block. Komet pulls back and blocks. Big gashing play on first down. 3 consecutive first down running plays that have been positive gains.
Doug, we talked during the week, me, you, Chris, about the USC front. They're talented, but they're thin. And would Notre Dame be able to wear them down? Look at that. 38 carries, 268 yards. And the Irish are trying to build one of those drives to give them a cushion and do it with the guys up front. Smith gains a couple on first down, and we're halfway through the fourth quarter, Chris.
Yeah, halfway through the first quarter, Mike, and you make the point. I mean, this Notre Dame run offense, this is what I've been calling for this because it's special as far as their run game design, all the different things they can do, pulling guards and tackles together. I don't think USC's seen a running attack quite like this all year long in the Pac-12 or anywhere else.
And Chris, we saw it second half against Virginia. Against Bowling Green, you couldn't really judge based on the competition, but it's showing up tonight.
It is.
And there is Smith again, close to the first down at the 30-yard line. He's going to have it.
We had a chance to sit down with Robert Hainsey, offensive tackle, and he said one set of eyes. He wants all of us to wear him down, enforce our will, take control of the game, and have one set of eyes at the offensive line. That means you all see the front together, you communicate, and everyone's working in combination with each other and come off the ball. And that's where it's gotten to in the fourth quarter. And that's what he was hoping for by the fourth quarter.
We don't get to talk about offensive line coach Jeff Quinn enough, but we should, because he's one of the best O-line coaches in all of college football with the things he asks this O-line to do on a week-to-week basis.
From the 30, Book, he's rolling, he's right. He's got Smith as the lead blocker. Ian Book for 14 to the 16. And to the flag down back where that hole opened up. Book, the little ginger coming back to the huddle.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. Holding, number 72. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 78. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced. Still first down.
Well, the bigger penalty becomes key. It pushes Notre Dame back to the 45-yard line.
It's a
block below the waist. The 15-yarder was called on Tommy Kramer, 78. Moves back to the 41. He just mentioned Jeff Quinn, the offensive line coach, and the job his group has done. And after all the good stuff, you get one of those. And now here's Book running and throwing complete to the sideline to Komet. Nicole Komet will stay in bounds to the 30-yard line. His 6th reception of the evening.
I mean, this is being an athlete. This is basketball type skills where you're drawing out defenders. You put your head down and tuck it like you're going to go, and then draw that defender up. He's not open. He's covered on the play, but all of a sudden Ian Book takes off and now dump it over his head. Nice touch.
Took advantage of Malga, who's seeing significant time here. Those injuries on that USC defense taking their toll as well. From the 30, again, Book designed run. Houston will bring him down, and we've got 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Irish with 5.5 to go. And again, a field goal makes this a 6-point game, so a huge play for USC's defense and Brian Kelly's offense.
No doubt about it. If Notre Dame winds up with just a field goal, they are uneasy with the way USC has been moving the football. Big conversion down. Chip Long, as a play caller, he always, 3rd down's tough. You can't gadget him on 3rd down and long.
Notre Dame bleeding clock here as we go under 5 minutes and a big snap. 3rd and 10. 5 receivers in the pattern. Book taking off. Can he get to the 20? Yes, he can. First down, Notre Dame. Out of bounds at the 14.
So big, the athleticism, having a quarterback that can use his legs. Watch Houston in the middle. He's the whole player. It's a 2-deep coverage. He turns his head to find work, and that's when Ian Book stepped up and stepped through. He's looking downfield. Nice job of stepping up in the pocket. He just feels it open up.
It takes the Irish just under 300 rushing yards on the night, and they continue to bleed clock as you go out of bounds with this much time left, and the clock does restart the game clock once the chain's set. So it's rolling, it's moving. So are the Irish. Here's Tony Jones, who gets down to the 8-yard line. 5 on first down, and Clay Helton watches that clock go under 4 minutes, knowing his team's got to come up with a red zone stop here. There's a touchdown, put him down 2 scores. Might not have enough time to come back.
This has been an impressive drive. Basically by the offensive line, driving people off the ball, and Ian Book using his legs as well. It started with their back to the wall, because all the momentum has been USC going into this drive.
From the 8, they're going to throw. He's going to run. Book taking off for the end zone. Touchdown, Ian Book.
It's really a lead play. It's a quarterback draw, but it's a lead quarterback draw. Steps up through, and it's a tight window. He knew if he could stay on his feet, he's going to get to the end zone. Just stay up. I mean, that's a 6-man rush, and he slices through. Tony Jones the lead back. It's basically lead draw, and Ian Book becomes a tailback.
Notre Dame has run for 311 yards on this USC defense here tonight. Jonathan Doors had 3 big field goals for the Irish. Adds the extra point, and with 3:33 to go, Ian Book playing his best game of the year. He's got a great arm, but his legs have done it the last couple of drives, especially on that one. Notre Dame leads by 10. SC fans on the West Coast, SNL coming soon here. This is cool during the break. Our director Pierre Musa caught this. The defensive guys, Okwara and Kareem, coming over to the O-line saying, job well done. Thank you, men. The lead is 10. It'll be taken out. Yes, it will be. By Valus Jones, who has been held in check tonight. Alohi Gilman has him. And that's where it's going to end at the 21-yard line. You see Claypool and Hamilton, those 2 big, great athletes from each side of the ball for Notre Dame, slow to get up as they collided on that tackle. All right, Doug, Keaton Slovis, high school offensive coordinator. You watch Claypool come over. It's Kurt Warner.
Turn it loose. Now you're relaxed. It's like there's nothing to lose. You're down 2 scores. You get after it, and it'll probably make some plays, but it probably ends up in an interception down there in the red zone is my guess. But you got to be aggressive because you know you have to score quickly and throw against coverage. So this is tough.
Well, Kurt telling us no moment too big for this kid. He's got to go quick. From the 20, flip it out to Cromanhope, the tight end, only a gain of 1. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa with the tackle. These fans who were really quiet as Notre Dame was driving down now kick it up.
Slovis has been great the whole second half, especially in the 4th quarter. He's got a big mountain to climb here.
Inside of 3 minutes, Slovis. Pocket collapsing, he escapes. Eyes downfield. Again, Cromanhope, the tight end. He's had a season in this second half. First down SC.
You're going to be throwing on most every down, so you get in a rhythm. You know it's double cloud. Everybody's dropping and playing coverage. They're deep. The corners are rolled up, taking away short outside throws, so nothing is going to be clean and easy. He may have to do some of that moving around.
From the 34, Irish rush 3. Kareem gets through. Slovis escapes. Nothing's open downfield, so he'll just take an exit ramp on the ND sideline at the 40 with 2:33 to go.
May only be a 3-man rush, but Kareem gets pressure coming around the edge and flushes the quarterback. So I think he's doing a great job, Slovis, of moving around, buying time. If you keep getting out of bounds and stopping the clock on first downs, there's enough time to get it done.
Notre Dame dropping back in coverage, again rushing 3. Slovis on the move. Good job to find Tyler Vaughns, who caught the touchdown earlier, stayed on his feet. We're going to mark him down at the 44, gain of 15 with 2:13 to go.
When you get 3-man rush and soft zone coverage out there, the moving around buys windows for people. It buys them the time and opportunity to find an open area.
Again rushing 3. Slovis cannot get away from Jameer Jones, who comes up with the sack. Jones from Rochester, New York, whose role is increased when Dalen Hayes injured his shoulder, comes up with a big play. USC timeout.
Well, Cromanhope's working up top on Jones up there, gets help from his tailback, but Jones just keeps working. Jameer Jones, who actually was the guy that came up with the biggest play of the game against Virginia to turn that game around.
And he also dropped in coverage and did a nice job earlier tonight on another play. Jones has showed up. And again, that rule in college football now where you have 4 games to play before you redshirt and don't have the season count against one of your eligibility seasons. Jones was ticketed for that. And then the Hayes injury happened. And Chris Sims, that says so much about a Notre Dame team and the quality of depth that you can go to a guy who you're going to redshirt, and he's an impact player in big spots.
An impact player. You can't block him with tight ends. You can't block him with running backs. He's got a tremendous motor and really the strength of this Notre Dame team. And what's allowed them to do these creative Clark Lee defenses is all the great pass rushers that they have.
Timeouts, just under 2 minutes. Slovis, shovel, Stephen Carr. It's a nice call against the 3-man rush. And it's a first down for USC at the 31-yard line.
Absolutely a great call. Everyone bailing out in coverage instead of running a draw play, which is basically, it's a kind of a middle screen shovel pass. Let everybody drop deep. Get him the ball behind the 3 rushing alignment.
Now Slovis escapes again, hit as he throws, and it's caught at the 12-yard line by Amon-Ra St. Brown. As Slovis took a heavy hit, minute 36 left, 19-yard gain.
Great job of buying time and moving around. Now the windows get a little tighter. Now you get real defense. Great job of, but this is what you have to do against a 3. You take the hit, but against a 3-man rush, you have to do that.
3-man rush again. It is Slovis looking end zone. He's going to take off. He'll run for it, and Slovis will be stopped at the 2-yard line. Again, coming off a concussion, heavy hit from the combination of Drew White and Alohi Gilman. Minute 13 left.
Time is important. He gets tackled in bounds with the clock, and the timeout is taken.
USC going to take a timeout here.
Timeout. USC. 30 seconds.
It was Kyle Hamilton, not Gilman, beg your pardon, who came up. You're so close here at the 2-yard line, and it is first down. You need a field goal and a touchdown, minute 11, but now you only have 1 timeout left to work with.
You're so close, you have to go after the touchdown here.
No doubt.
And do not get tackled in the field of play. Call plays that are going to get in, that you're throwing the ball into the end zone. And this is the perfect spot for pick plays, rub plays, whatever you want to call it.
I'll be curious with the 2 quarterbacks here. And Doug, I'll start with you, then Chris. What do you guys see as you watch Slovis play here tonight, Doug?
Oh, I love it. I think he's got poise, confidence. He missed a couple easy throws early, but he had to figure out what was going on defensively. And once he's figured it out, second half has been amazing.
Amazing. I can't say enough about the young guy, a freshman in this environment. He's answered everything here in the second half, and you can tell just being here on the field, guys, the situation is not too big for him. Very impressed.
Time is very important to USC not to get tackled in bounds, even if they're incomplete passes. Throw the ball.
1 for the first down, 2 for the touchdown. Slovis going to throw for it and broken up. Tried to get it to Pittman and Dante Vaughn in coverage. 3rd down.
Well, Vaughn's a big, strong, physical defensive back. Get your hands on the receiver, gets his head around and plays the ball nicely. His issues have come playing the ball. He's always been in great position. Great job seeing the throw.
And one of the things, because of the injury to Sean Crawford, Tariq Gracie has not played as much here tonight with Vaughn. One thing they like about him.
To 111. We heard a whistle on the field. There is no play.
We had a whistle. There was no play. Okay, so no play. There was a whistle. So 111 back on the clock, and the down box is back at 2nd. So it's 2nd and 1.
Which is very important to USC to get that extra play so you can still take those shots rather than convincing yourself you're going to have to run the ball at some point.
So 2nd and 1. Notre Dame getting nosy. They're going to hand it off inside, and Step powering his way to the goal line and in for the touchdown. So the man in Notre Dame cannot stop on first contact. From Indianapolis, Marquise Step with a touchdown, and it's a 4-point game.
He had no business getting in the end zone. Byron Tagovailoa steps through 95 clean and has him 2 yards deep in the backfield. Backpedaling, push, the old Bush push into the end zone, and they're still in it.
Elijah Vera Tucker, not Reggie Bush with the push this time. It's not Liner going in Step. But the young man who was a Notre Dame commit from Cathedral High School in Indianapolis has made this a 4-point game. Crucial extra point for Chase McGrath. And it's a 3-point game with an onside kick and a minute 4 to go. Always a great rivalry. Somehow it always delivers. It has one more time. USC going to try to get it back on an onside kick when we come back. Says there is a whistle. USC comes back and scores. Minute 4 left. Big second half for the Trojans. They've scored 24 points. Marquise Step, redshirt freshman from Indianapolis, scores to make it a 3-point game. And now Notre Dame will see USC and Chase McGrath try to stop the onside kick.
Looks like he set up the... I was going to say the kick looked like it was set up to come to the wide side of the field over here.
Now looking at the boundary, looking at the formation, and the Irish will take a timeout.
Notre Dame, 30 seconds.
Brian Polian is the special teams coordinator for the Irish, so he saw what the setup was, and now we'll go to plan B. Brian Kelly saw the point of the ball going the other way, so it might have been one of those where you line up, look into the boundary, and then the last second flip to go the other way.
When he first set the ball on the tee, he had the laces facing to the wide side of the field, the ball on the short side hash. If you kick it to the short side of the field, there's not enough time for your players to get to the ball. If you kick it to the wide side of the field, you have more time for the players to make that run. But at the last second, body language was that he was going to kick it short side. Again, he's lining the ball up. It appears looking wide side, laces to the wide side of the field, which would assume the kick is going to go wide side. Is that a decoy? Because there is another individual on this side of the ball looking to kick the ball that way.
Now we'll switch over to kick to the wide side of the field. Notre Dame brings its players over. Here's the kick, the big bounce, and waiting for it is Notre Dame's tight end, Brock Wright. And he jumps on it at midfield. And with one timeout left, that should do it.
That nice big hop, well fielded, secure the game.
Brian Kelly talked to his team on Thursday after practice about every individual would have to contribute for this game. There's a Brock Wright, a tight end who doesn't see much in the passing game, but he comes over and makes a very big play. Yeah, Clay Helton is complaining that Brian Kelly was coming down and yelling on the field for his team to pay attention over this way. It was out on the field, and now the referee, along with the head linesman, is going to walk over to speak with Clay Helton, who's having a conversation with the side judge.
Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy with the ball coming at you?
So Brian Kelly sees what he's doing. He's
down the bottom.
Guys over. There he is down there. Clay Helton saw that.
Wow, he's on the field while it's kicked.
Terry McCauley, you can't be there, right?
No, he can't be out of the team area like that. Certainly not while the ball's in play. This really should have been a penalty.
How about challengeable for too many men on the field?
It is not reviewed.
Wow. Maybe he's not as quick as he used to be, and he thought he could get back.
It's an interesting one. It
It's
would be an interesting call by the official. It would be a penalty and a re-kick in that situation if they were going to call something. So USC is going to drop to 3-3. They'll play Arizona. They have everything still to play for in the Pac-12 in the South. As we go above the rest, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. And the star here as USC takes a timeout was Tony Jones Jr. on the ground.
What a day. The offensive line to control the ball, took control of the game. Tony Jones breaking tackles down the field late in the game. It was Ian Book running the ball as well. But again, creative ways to get the ball on the perimeter with the shovel. And Tony Jones had his career day today. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I saw him break more tackles today than I've seen him break.
At the 133 against Virginia, 176 tonight. Back to that onside kick. You see the get-back coach all the time pulling the coaches back. It's rare that Brian Kelly is the guy on the field. Brett Venables from Clemson is the most frequent abuser of a coach being on the field. But usually some strength guy yanks him back. Kelly out there as he was trying to get the players' attention. And it would have been an interesting call, but again, it would have been another onside kick. It's not like the ball would have been awarded to USC, but it would move the ball closer, so they would have had a shorter field if they would have recovered the onside kick. That is passed going forward, as I said. USC 3-3, 2-1 in the league. They still have a great chance in the Pac-12 South. And if they can keep playing like this, they're going to have their chances to win a bunch of the games the rest of the way.
No doubt. They're talented. They've got a quarterback that's got some savvy and poise to him. Brought them back tonight in Slovis. I saw a lot of good things out of USC, no doubt about it.
2 Friday night games, don't have 2 byes. Tough games coming up, including the game against Oregon. Meantime, for Notre Dame, 5-1. They'll keep their championship hopes alive. They will get a week off, and then we'll go to Ann Arbor and play Michigan in the toughest remaining game on their schedule. But in the rivalry game, 30-27, Notre Dame beats Southern California again. Four straight for Notre Dame. And here's Catherine Tappan.
Coach, how would you best describe your team's effort in this victory tonight?
Great win. You know, anytime you're in a rivalry game, you're going to fight to the very end. Our guys did, and found a way to win against a very game USC team. They're very difficult to defend offensively. Obviously, they came up with some big plays at the end and made it very difficult on us. I thought we had a good plan going in, but they stress you, they prod you. But we had the big drive, I thought, that ate up a lot of clock in the fourth quarter, that put us up by 10, and then we held on at the end. And great victory for our football team.
What can you say about that final scoring drive from your quarterback, Ian Book, and the effort that he put forth himself in that one?
Yeah, he had to use his legs. They were playing a lot of 2D, taking a lot of things away. So running the football, then using his legs, he's able to do that and kept plays alive for us. He was really clutch for us. So, again, a great team victory. Our defense hung in there. They played great in the first half. And then, obviously, with so many snaps in the second half, they knew what we were doing, got a kind of a beat on it, and put us in some tough situations. But our kids hung in there, fought, and a great victory.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine.
All right, Tap, thank you. USC had won 8 in a row in this series before Brian Kelly got here. He's now 7-3 in this series. The only coaches who've beaten USC more in Notre Dame history, Frank Leahy 8, who holds with 9. Brian Kelly's full press conference.